What's going on, my peoples? It's your boy, Mr. OBF, back one time for your mind. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button, so you guys get the live streams when we go live, people. And if you can, donate to the channel. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And if you need more information to subscribe and donate to the channel, go to OBF The Real Cash App and donate to the channel. It's down there strolling below, people. Welcome to the OBF The Network, people. Listen, man, you know, Cooning be at an all-time high, right? And I told y'all, as long as I got some, me or her have life in our breath. I mean, life in our breath. Breath in our lungs, in our body, right? I'm gonna roast the shit out of Candace Owens. The hypocrisy of nonsense and right wing talking points is like is at a certain point is hilarious, but it's so offensive, right? And it hurts more when you have people like Candace Owens that's our skin complexion saying this type of shit. So we gonna get into this, people, but y'all know what time it is, man. Coon alert, people. Coon alert. Goddamn coon alert. Now, I need people to understand something. That this is why you don't allow somebody like Candace Owens to sit next to you having a conversation. Because she's not freely thinking, right? She's one of these people that think she reads some articles, she reads some things that lines up with the ideology that she get paid to do. Because we all know you do what you do is to get paid. We get that. We excuse me. I ain't pocket watching, but my problem is that you're making money off of black people's pain. Right? It's not to uplift our people, it's to tear us down. It's to tell us how stupid we are and tell us how fucked up our mindset is a little bit, right? And it's okay to do that. It's okay to tell black people we do fuck shit and we need to stop doing certain shit, but it's how we do it. It's the temperament of it. It's to make sure that when we're talking to our people, yeah, we gonna criticize our people, but we gonna uplift us. You get what I'm saying? So, but at the same time, put truth on it, right? So when you're talking about people, when you're talking about your people, you're not insulting that, trying to insult their intelligence, but at the same time, try to tear down their self-esteem, right? So Candace Owens decides to get on the podcast, PBD podcast live. I guess that's what it's called. I've seen this dude before, but I don't really kind of know who the fuck he really is. I think he did a couple of interviews. I think he did some interviews with some athletes and actors and shit. The last one I really seen him sit down with somebody that I recognized was Kobe, and it was mainly about Kobe. You know, his journey. You know what I'm saying? As far as being a basketball player, father, and all that shit. This was before Kobe died, and so I'm not really mad at the guy. I think I wouldn't mind sitting down having a conversation with somebody like him, and me and him probably won't see eye to eye on a lot of shit, but I wouldn't mind sitting down with this guy, right? Because sometimes people that have different ideology of you or look at life different than you, it's just the experience. It's just the different lifestyles. You get what I'm saying? You may grow up a certain type of way, and some people don't grow up this certain type of way, and you can get that. So they look at shit a little differently, right? Because their experience is different. When you're sitting down with people like Candace Owens, she knows better. She's intentionally being disrespectful. She's intentionally trying to destroy shit and make money off of it. So let's get into it. Candace Owens, they decides to talk about this black woman. I seen this shit before, but I didn't really watch the whole thing of it. And it was this black woman. I guess she was from our community, right? And she had these things to say. Now, mind you, I'm gonna break it down, but she did say some truthful shit in this. Okay, she did say some truthful things. But what's your alternative? Right? People complain about a lot of shit, but they don't have solutions. And that be my issue. You can listen, it's okay to tell the truth about our government and tell the truth about things and stuff like that and not talk about our experiences. It's okay. But what is your solution now? Because just bashing something and just talking bad about something and don't have any solutions and not living what you say you live, it's a waste of time. But anyway, let's get into it.
Video just this morning, by the way. So I brought this video into Rob this morning. I watched this African-American lady talking about abortion, and it just popped up on my phone. I'm like, what a way she explained an ex-boyfriend of hers she had that was a rich guy, and she explained abortion in a way that's fascinating. Rob, if you can play this clip, I want to get everyone's reaction on this, because is there a part of the government...
First of all, I want to know, number one, when you explaining this, is he black? Right? That's number one. What race he is. It matters to me. Number two, she says he's a rich guy. Right? How rich really is he? Is he just very wealthy? Is he just well off? Is he really rich? Right? Because if you're talking about rich people, I told you the most cruelest people in the world are very, very rich people. Even though it's 1% of them. Right? It's not like a big percentage of rich people in the world. Right? A lot of rich people are very cruel. They arrogant. The money didn't change them. It kind of that personality, the money is like steroids. It almost made their personality, whoever they are, that personality is, the money just, it's like steroids. It just, strengthen it. You know what I'm saying? Making it very, very, trying to find the words for this. It makes them feel more empowered to be who they really truly are, if that makes any sense. Right? That's all money does to people. You get what I'm saying? And it depends what type of person you are. Sometimes people that get money and have a lot of money, they give their money away. They do more for other people than they do for themselves. But that could tell you the people like, they dumb as shit. Now they poor, now they broke. Right? They ain't got shit now because they were trying to help everybody in and everybody out. But that's what type of person that they were. The money didn't change them. It just made them say, I got enough to help people. Now I really can help people. It was always probably who they was as far as their personality. So when you see a lot of rich people that got money and they mistreat people and they dismissive or however, they just look arrogant or whatever, that's who they kind of are anyway. Money don't change you like that. It just really doesn't. But let's move on.
Part of the government forcing people to need the government so they do what they need them to do to control that voting block. I don't know, but hear her argument here. Go ahead.
They don't got abortion clinics at the border. they're telling us as American women, specifically black American women, we need to abort our children. But if you coming across the border with your baby, oh, come to the land of milk and honey, the great land of opportunity, we'll take care.
First of all, let me say this, because I want to go back to what she said. First of all, lady, you sound ignorant as fuck. Because number one, let's just be real. If these people wanted an abortion that was coming from over the border, that got raped, or they didn't want to have babies, right? They didn't want to have a kid, right? They could get an abortion at the border. Yeah, yes they can. If they come the right way, they come across the border and they're trying to get asylum and all that shit, yes, yeah, they can. It's abortion clinics there. Stop it. Yes, it is. Please stop. Please stop that. That is not true. You just made that shit up to feed your narrative. That's not true. Now, second of all, I keep saying this about a lot of immigrants that's not from this country. How they grow up in society, they come from conservative backgrounds. They're very, very, very religious. So they're not going to, regardless of a lot of their messed up circumstances, right? Or what they're going through, right, in their life. They're not going to abort their kid. Because number one, they come from a country where abortion probably is illegal. So you got to understand the culture is different too. So then, of course, they're not going to be coming over here trying to look for abortions and shit like that. It's just, they're not going to do that. The culture is different. Regardless if they get being oppressed by their own country, right? By their own people, they still have conservative morals. Ideology. I always keep telling y'all, if you ever notice a lot of immigrant people that come over here and they get settled and they come the right way and they get their citizenship or whatever, or even if they're not citizens yet, they're very conservative people. Believe it or not. So that's why it always mind boggles me that when the Republican Party say, oh, the Democrats want all these immigrants to come over here so they can sign Democrat. Yo, they're not that conservative. They're not liberal like that. They're very conservative. They're most likely is going to side with conservative Republicans. So it's like a false narrative. It's a conspiracy theory. People need to understand that. And then, second of all, listen. People don't understand because people got this theory or they got a conspiracy theory or whatever, however they think, right? And it could just be they upbringing in their life, right? We only have abortion clinics. Abortion clinics are everywhere. They're not only all in the black community. Come on, people, stop, man. Listen, let me just explain something to you. Nobody makes these women go have abortions. Now, you have certain situations where men pressure women to have abortions, but that's just not in the black community. That's anywhere, everywhere, in any community. Because you have fucked up men, fucked up people. It's just, whatever. But nobody's making black people go have an abortion. Nobody's making black people do that. Sorry, I'm telling you. Listen, I'm not. Listen, you can't make me believe that. Nobody's making no black woman go have an abortion. Now, she may get bamboozled. She in love with a guy, whatever, something like that. And, and the guy pressures her to get an abortion because he don't want no kid by her or something like that because he playing her. But that's her own stupidity. That's not making her go have an abortion. She's choosing to do that. See, people don't want to tell the truth. Right? So, and now, let me fuck the ideology up of, no, I'm going to hold it. Because Candace Owens going to say some bullshit. This lady going to say some bullshit. And I'm going to debunk her bullshit. Let's go back a little bit.
people to need the government so they do what they need them to do to control that voting block? I don't know, but hear her argument here. Go ahead.
They don't got abortion clinics at the border. They're telling us as American women, specifically black American women, we need to abort our children. But if you coming across the border with your baby, oh, come to the land of milk and honey, the great land of opportunity. We'll take care of you. Joe Biden even said, I'll give illegal immigrants coming across the border $400,000 a piece. Can you imagine if they were to go to that black single?
First of all, you know where that money comes from, my sister? That you're talking about Joe Biden talking about giving them $4,000. Yes, it's taxpayer money. We know that. But understand, my sister, the same thing that you get ready to complain about welfare and all that shit, that comes from welfare. It's welfare money. And you're talking about people that has nothing at all. I get our community is fucked up. We barely survive. I get that. I'm not disagreeing. You're talking about people that don't have anything. They have left everything. They probably didn't have that much when they was in their country. They left all that shit. And then they have kids of their own. So what, just leave them homeless? Don't try to give them a head start so they can feed their kids? What is the difference of we allowing them to come over here and we're not going to help them? Because if we're not going to help them, we just shouldn't let them in. I mean, if that's what you're saying, then okay. But if we're going to let immigrants come over here and they come the right way with their families, we got to help them out. I mean, don't get me, the system is screwed in a way. I get what the system is kind of saying, but you can't be as cruel as others. I don't understand. But mind you, these are the same people that tell you they believe in God. Listen, in the Bible it tell you God will give you the shirt off his back. He will give you his last. Paraphrasing, but that's basically what he was trying. It says in the Bible. But these people claim they're religious people. They gotta stop confusing. They want to bring the Bible in when it matters, when they want to make a point, right, on some fuck shit. But then they don't want to use the Bible when they disagree with certain shit, because they understand that they're just making up shit. They're picking and choosing what they want to go in the Bible and take. You can't just let people come over here. You gonna just let them be out there with the homeless people? We got homeless people our damn self, so we just gonna add more homeless people. Listen, it ain't right. Listen, my honest opinion, we can do both. We can help immigrants, but we need to help out our poor people, and we need to help out homeless more. Help them more opportunities. But who fault is that? That's the government. We just can't blame Joe Biden and the Democrats for that. That ain't only just them. I'm not saying they ain't got a part in this shit, but what about the Republicans? If the Republicans have been running the country too, why the fuck they not solved homelessness? The homeless population. Why have they haven't solved that? Why have they not came up with solutions? Since they so know how to govern and fix these things, why haven't they solved poor people that's poor? How come they haven't done it yet? Since it's so fucking easy, since we need to just run to the Republican Party. I'm not saying either side is good in this. I'm just saying stop saying it's just one side. That's all I'm saying. Let's move on.
Single mother living in the hood, not even $400,000. Offer $4,000, because I know some black women that can make something jump with $4,000. Offer her $40,000. You know why they'll never give us that? Because they know that we'll never need them again.
First of all, lady, what universe you live in? And then second of all, you went from $400, and maybe you misspeaking, and maybe whatever. You said $400. Then you said give them not even $400. Give them $4,000, and then you say give them $40,000. I mean, what is it? What is the money? Because black women in the hood, they can make them some things jump up. Let me explain something to y'all. And it's sad to say this, but it's the truth, right? Because like I said, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I ain't going to criticize my people, some of my people. Listen, you give some black people money because they already been programmed and fucked up by society, right? Black women, black men, whoever it is, black children. You give them money. Or what you saying? All of them are not. It's not going to be this high percentage of black people that's going to do the right thing with the money and survive and flip it. Because some black people have in the community have got used to just taking. Right? Society has got fucked up because as black people, we used to help each other back in the day too. You know, you live next door to somebody needs some food or something. The community get together and be like, yeah, we gotta go buy what's the name, some groceries. That used to happen back in the day. It's not like that now. So that's why I said I don't know what universe she's living in. Then number three. Listen. You can't keep complaining about the government ain't doing this and ain't doing that. Right? If we need to go back and do some shit, if you want to go backwards to do some shit, we need to help our people in the community. Us. We need to help us. We keep blaming them, the government and whoever, Biden, the Democrats, the Republicans. We blaming all them, but we don't do shit for each other. We don't help each other out like that. We already know as black folks, we know that just the color of our skin, we're not going to get the same opportunity as others that don't look like us. We know that, right? We all know that. I don't give a fuck if you rich, middle class, or poor. We all know that. You know what black people do? These are the three things that black people do from them things I said: rich, middle class, and poor. You know what we all have in common? Is when the rich, what they do, black people, they make it, they leave. And I'm okay with it to a certain extent. Go out, get your shit together, get your family together, but make it more opportunities to help the next person. Black people don't do that. A lot of us don't do that. We get rich, we move out, we don't try to help each other. Prime example, right? Now, and you can't help everybody too, because you got to think about this. I told you, somehow black people are gone, so you can't help every black person. But what a lot of us do, we get frustrated because these people don't want to fall in line and like, yo, come here. You know what I mean? Stop being so proud, because you being proud and what you're doing is making your situation even worse. So you're still stuck. There's nothing wrong with you wanting to be independent and be strong and don't want handouts, but when it comes to your people, you should want a fucking handout if they giving you a hand. But somehow people are like that. This is what I'm saying. See, this is what black people don't tell each other. This is when we not explaining to each other. Prime example, true story. Me and my wife, we move, where we at, whatever. We live in a pretty good neighborhood. It ain't fancy. We ain't crazy. I told my sister, she was on Section 8. Me and my wife was like, yo, it's a house across the street from us. We'll help you get that fucking house. Move your kids out there, live in a good neighborhood, and you're amongst family. You right across the street, so if you need help or whatever, blah, 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 we got you. You know what my sister told me? Nah, I'm good. I'd rather go ahead and get with the Section 8 shit. I want to keep getting Section 8. So my point to my sister, this sister right here, is don't pretend that black people, if the government give black people all this money, they're going to do the right thing. They're not. Even when their own people is in a financial situation, in a good situation to help them, they still won't take the fucking help. They won't do the right thing. Because we've been brainwashed, we've been fucked up, and it ain't the Democrats just did that to us, the Republicans too. Because what solutions the Republicans tell you do? Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. That's it. When I'm already fucked up, but I mean, no help from the government? When it was the same fucking government that fucked me over. No help, no. Mind you, you gotta understand, you're telling people, when you tell people to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, they already fucked up, right? So you're just telling them basically, whatever. Work harder. You're already working hard. You're already working hard. You're already working two jobs that you're not getting, that you barely keeping your head above waters. And you got to understand, this is the same party that'll sit over here and side with businesses to mistreat you, to pay you less. So how's the Republican Party going to help you? And if their solutions is to keep you where you are. So who party is helping? But my point is, back to my point, is black folks, we do need to go back to where we helped each other and accept the help from each other. And then, okay, yeah, back to what I was saying to the middle class, to do the same thing. Niggas move. All black people, I'm good. I ain't bringing them hood niggas with us. We make it hard for each other to get in the doors. Because we feel like we got a position that we bring somebody else up with us. It's like crab in the brochure. We bring somebody else up to help them to get in the position. We see their talent. We're like, damn, they got a little bit more talent than me. And then we start hating. Then we start shitting on them, making sure they don't get the opportunities. We do that to each other. And then with the poor people, what poor people do? They do the same shit. They get a little money. However they grinding, they get a little money. What they do? They start stunting on the motherfuckers that ain't got shit. We all live in the same environment, but you got a little more than the rest. And you start stunting and shitting on them. Bragging. Look what yeah, girl, look what I got. You telling your homeboy, there, nigga, you know what I mean? I got all this, you know what I'm saying, nigga, yeah. All this, yeah. You know, I did all that, nigga, yeah. Nigga. Ain't telling this nigga like, yo, look, hey, man, you trying to do some shit like this, man? Come on, man, I'll help you get this shit. We ain't doing that. We can blame the government for whatever and it might be factual. But look what black people do to black people. Don't keep telling me about the fucking government. I've seen black people do it. From all three stages. Poor, middle class, and rich. They all do it. We all do it to each other. We won't even, you got some motherfuckers that won't even lift a hand when they make it. Then you got motherfuckers that when you try to lift a hand and give them a hand, you try to look down on me. I don't need your help. What? How you don't need my help and you fucked up? You don't even appreciate your blessing. But you believe in God, though. Anyway, man, let's move on. But I wanted to break that down because people don't tell the truth about black people. We can listen, people. There's plenty of bad shit that we can say about black folks, but this is one of those things that where I will criticize our people that we do and we don't do for each other, and it hurts us. And then it puts our kids to see. At the end of the day, it puts our kids in a fucked up predicament, because now they gotta go out here and figure like, shit, my people's is struggling and hurting. And listen, your kids is only gonna act how you act. If you're a rich, bougie, black motherfucker and don't want to help nobody, your kids gonna be like that. Listen, and what people don't tell you, it is bougie ass poor people. Black people that's poor that think they all that, because they got a little more than some motherfuckers in the community. Live in the same fucked up community. Situations is going on, right? But they think they better because they got a little more. I work at the hospital. How better are you? You live in the same community. You don't live outside the community. You live in the same community, but you better. Because you work at the hospital or something, you got a good job.
Welfare reminds me of an old man I used to date. I was in a relationship with him for 11 years. He would never marry me, right? But whenever my bills were due, I would tell him.
She said an old man. So you was dating, you was out, you had your sugar daddy. You thought it was a come up. See, the one thing you gotta understand about an old, because we call them old players. We used to call them sugar daddies, but we call them old players. So one thing about old players, they've been around for a long time. They know a woman that's trying to come up off on them. You only good for what they think you good for. What you think you dating somebody way older than you? What you think they there for? You think that he gonna let you come up? No, he gonna keep you in your place. When he first got with you. What the fuck was you thinking about? He wasn't rich. He was well off. He wasn't rich. From how she's speaking about the guy, he wasn't rich. He was just well off. Had a little money. Probably had his retirement money, however it may be. Probably had a nice, good job, but whatever it may be. But he had a little bit of paper. Listen. What she thought? Don't tell me that you wasn't whoring yourself out. Listen, I'm gonna say this to listen. It's a very, very high percentage of what I'm gonna say. It's a very low percentage of that is somebody that's young dating somebody old, or somebody old dating somebody young. That they truly care about each other, right? Listen, it's about 70% of those type of relationships. Old person messing with a young person, regardless if they're male or woman. Listen, but mainly for men. Listen. Ain't no man. Listen, that man been around the block more times than you done lived. You got your sugar daddy, and this sister, she a little older, so I know the term of sugar daddy. She understand what I'm saying. We call them old players, but listen, that older gentleman, that older brother, he knew what you was about. You was trying to make the come up on him. You was only giving him some pussy so you can get some money. You talking about he would never marry you. Why would he? Because he sees you as a whore. I know it's harsh to say, but it's the truth. He sees you as a whore. Listen, people, premise that if I'm married or whatever, but if I say I wasn't married, if I'm dating somebody young, a young woman, not looking for no love. We ain't even mentally on the same level. We probably ain't even in the same financial stratosphere. I've been around the block probably 2 times more than her. Only fucking with you because you look good and probably get some of that young pussy. That's the only thing I'm thinking about. Not thinking about settling down with no young girl. We mentally ain't even on the same level. I want to marry you for what? I'm gonna marry somebody that's already established. Come on now. But she gonna blame the government for this guy, this older gentleman. No. That's a whore problem. That's not a government problem. That's a whore problem. I know a whore when I hear one. You trying to blame the government for this older gentleman treating you like the whore that you was whoring yourself out to. Yeah, okay. All right. I told y'all, these people, listen, the coonery, excuse me, what up, IX? Salute to you too. Listen, excuse me. Listen, people, I told y'all, the coonery is at a all-time high. It's no way that listen, I told you, we have people even from like where I come from is be on some coonery shit. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They live in the bubble too. Motherfuckers that live in the hood, come from the hood or live in the hood, they come from a bubble. They no different. A lot of them ain't no different than Candace. Candace ain't no different than them. They just try to pretend that they're somehow better. Listen, it's very arrogant, poor black folks from the hood. I'm just trying to tell you. This bitch is sitting here blaming the government because she got with an older sugar daddy, older man, and got whored out. Bitch, that got nothing to do with the government. That got to do how you was raised. And what you accept, that's a personal issue, bitch. Let's move on.
Tell him he would give me just enough. He had a whole lot of money. He would give me just enough. Rent due $1,200. He'd give me $1,200 and not 1 cent over, because he knew that every month the rent was due, that I would have to come back to him. He wouldn't give me $100,000 and say, here, baby, bump that, go buy you a house and start you a business, because then he felt like I wouldn't need him. The government system is the same way when it comes to black Americans.
First of all, lady, that's a pimp. I know how you trying to compare that. You can in a way, but really not. You was just a whore. You whored yourself out to this older gentleman. That's all you did. That's not a government thing. Listen, that's a you thing. And I get what she tried to compare it. No, lady, that's self-responsibility that you need to take. You allowed that older gentleman to play you and you knew he was doing it. Maybe not fully at the time because you was young. Right? But where was your parents? Didn't your parents teach you better than that? Listen, people. I ain't gonna name which one of my sisters this is, yo. I had a sister like that. That did shit like that. This same shit, I know about this bullshit. You go fuck with that older gentleman because you think he got something. But you independent though. You're an independent woman. You shouldn't need no man for nothing. You shouldn't need that man to take care of you. But I told you, in a certain environment in the black community, we like fast shit. We don't slow down. We don't grind. We don't save. We don't be frugal. We want the fast shit because we watching the Joneses. We watching everybody else around the neighborhood get what they getting, and we like, damn, why we ain't getting that? Because they doing fuck shit to get it. That's why. And they probably ain't really got what you think they got, because all it takes is one mistake and all that shit is gone. See, See, we sit here and we don't want to be real about the shit that goes on in our community. Then you got this black sister up here making, you know, embarrassing us. When we know this is a problem in our community, I get it. And it's okay for her to talk about it. But I'm just saying, be honest about it. You hoard yourself. You fuck with that older gentleman. Why you ain't fuck with somebody your age? Because he didn't have what that older gentleman had. So you went to go with that older gentleman to get money out of him. So he can help you come up. When this man is nowhere in your age range, for you even be fucking with. This older gentleman probably was somebody that could have been her goddamn daddy. Come on now. Whore is a whore, man. You whore yourself out, you whoring. You're a whore. It's like a man say, you know, the cops, you know, say a man get caught up trying to get a prostitute, right? And he said, well, no, I'm not a trick. No, I just was looking for a good time. No, nigga, you a trick. I might be saying the word wrong, but you get what I mean? But like, come on, bro. This shit is just way ridiculous. Let's go back a little bit.
$1,200. He give me $1,200, not 1 cent over, because he knew that every month the rent was due, that I would have to come back to him. He wouldn't give me $100,000 and say, here, baby, bump that, go buy you a house and start you a business, because then he felt like I wouldn't need him. The government system is the same way when it comes to black Americans. They'll never give us enough to get over and get up. It's only enough to make sure we continue to come back every 30 days so that we can remain slaves to their system.
Wow.
Now mind you, she right about that. And the one thing I do respect her about that, because she didn't say Biden. I'm sorry, she didn't say the Democrats. She just said the government. And she right. She's right about that. Her trying to like bring those two things together and try to, so people can understand it, I get it. But listen, people, I was born in the time where the epidemic of drugs hit the black community. I was born in it. Okay? The 80s was, I was born 81. So I was born in the drug epidemic. So the things that this sister is talking about, I get it. I understand it very clearly. The problem with that is that what happened was a lot what happened in the drug epidemic like that was the government did what they did to our community, and it fucked generations of us up, because we lost our fathers and shit. A lot of our fathers was on drugs, or they was alcoholics, or they were drug addicts or whatever, and a lot of them was drug dealers and shit like that, or killers or murders or whatever, and they went to jail or they died or they got strung out on drugs. That's usually what happened. Or turned to they was addicts, right? So that happened. So you're talking about somebody that was born in 81, the whole 80s. That's a whole generation of kids that sat there and watched that shit. Watched their mothers, fathers, uncles, grandparents, a lot of them just be nothing. Right? Fell into the trap of society, of the drug epidemic. Right? What the government put into our community. The government did that. That wasn't just a Democrat thing. That wasn't just a Republican thing. That was the government that did that to us. So both parties was on some bigoted racist shit when it came to our people. They didn't really care about our people, Democrats or Republicans. Right? So you got a whole generation of babies. Because to me, when you under 10 years old, you're still a baby to me. So you got a whole generation of babies. And then you got babies that was born 1984, 1986, 87, 80. These are babies going into the 90s. And then the 90s come, they not even 10 yet in the early 90s. I'm over 10 at this point, so I'm not a baby now. So you got somebody that's now considered a teenager, a young man, young woman. And we don't fully comprehend what the fuck really going on. We just understand the environment. We know nothing about what the government is doing. But our parents at the same time don't even know. Because at this point, our parents are, and a lot of our grandparents and uncles and shit, they're gone. They're fucked up. They're fucked up. A lot of them dead. My grandmother, God rest her soul on my mom's side, died from this shit. She died from the drugs. I don't even remember my grandmother. I know she died. I had to be like 2, maybe. On my mom's side, my mom's mom. Don't remember at all. Sad to say, but I don't. Died from the drugs. My grandfather was older. He was older than my grandmother, so he died of old age and shit. So my grandfather was dead before I even was born. So don't know. So like, you're talking about 2 to 3 generations by the time we get to 2000, and maybe 4 generations, right, of kids that don't know their parents. Really, they know their parents, but their parents are not there. They're in jail. They all fell victim to the drug epidemic and shit like that. We don't know our fucking parents. We didn't get raised right, people. So I understand what this is saying. We didn't get raised right, bro. Lucky I came out of it because I, blessings, whatever, however it happened for me, I got out of it. Listen, I came out it. I ain't gonna say okay, because I still have my demons, and I still have like panic attacks, my paranoia and shit like that. I still have that shit. Trusting, I still have that. Like, I mentally scarred from growing up in the drug epidemic. Only promise that only promise I ever kept from going through my whole life was not to do drugs. I live by that number one rule, is not to get high on your own supply. Never fuck with drugs. Never fuck with it. That's the only thing. Now, you're talking about now in the 2000s, these kids are born in 90s, late 90s, like 98 or like 94, some shit like that. In 2000, these 2000 kids are a little different, but you're talking about kids that was born in 94, from 94 and up. Like, you're talking about a generation of kids that grew up in that same drug epidemic. So a lot of them, the King Vons, a lot of them little niggas that you see died and they wildin', nigga, they grew up in that generation. They watched, like I watched in the 80s. I watched in the 80s of how shit was growing up in it. About the time I got in the 90s, while I was a teenager, I started being a part of it. I had no choice. I got pushed into it. That's what you got to understand. So when you look at the King Vons and all them, they set back the whole 90s. When I was out there and my generation was doing what we was doing. Pushing the same poison on them. And then when some of us got moved out, some of us got on drugs, or some of us went to jail, some of us died, a little small percentage of us made it. Then here they come. They sat back and watched us. Just like I sat back for the 80s and watched my mom, my dad, and all them uncles. They did the same shit. So you're talking about generations of kids. Different generations of kids watching that shit. Preparing. It's almost like it was like kind of preparing. They was getting prepared for when it was their time to do what I did. Do what my parents was doing. Listen, I had the same choices that my mom and dad had. Same choices. I could be on drugs. I can get addicted to drugs, alcohol, whatever. Or I could sell a shit. Or I can die and go to prison. They was my opportunities. It wasn't, go work at Burger King, go work at that. Nobody was doing that shit. Nobody was really doing that. Not where I come from. So you got a whole generation of people, kids like me in the 80s coming up in the 90s, and nigga, we was just getting prepared for it. That's all. And then we had a choice. A lot of us like, fuck it. Our parents is fucked up. Fuck it. They are role models. So you think with, like, people get so upset, like, you hear the Charleston Whites, they get all mad and upset at these young kids and shit. Like, you talk about King Von. Like, nigga, he sat back for the whole 90s and watched us. Charleston White, you was a part of that. You actually older than me. They watched us do this shit. All we did was prepare them. That's it. Like, we so harsh on the young folks. Like, nigga, we helped them become what they became. It's like Mama Duck. There's no disrespect to her. It's like Mama Duck said that my kids wasn't no gangster. I mean, when she kept like, shut the fuck up. You a liar. He sat there and watched you go through all your struggles. His daddies and all that shit. His uncles, everybody. His big brothers, all that. He watched that shit. The whole 90s. And then when it was his time, in 2000s, he looked back the same way my mom and dad was. They the same now. And it's actually probably worse. Because that's usually what happens. And so, Duck, Vaughn, whole bunch of them, Dirk, a lot of them little young niggas, and people, the little young niggas that's out, they all went through that path. Because that's what's their environment. You didn't take them out of the environment. You know why? Because you couldn't afford to. You already was fucked up. You was already deep in it. So your kids ain't had no choice but to come into that environment. And be a part of that environment. Be a part of that fucked up community. So when we shit on the young folks, remember, we helped them get there. We helped them get here. We don't want to talk about that. It's easy to shit on them, but we don't want to take self-responsibility. We helped them get here. It's easy for niggas that, I made it, I'm the one made it out. Now it's easy for us to go back and shit on them. Why ain't doing what we doing? Because, nigga, it's a lot of niggas If you come from that community, a lot of niggas you know didn't make it. They had the same opportunities that you had. You just got lucky. Maybe you was the blessed one. Who the fuck knows? Maybe you didn't turn that corner. Maybe you just kept going straight and just ain't turned that corner at that period of time and got fucked up. This shit ain't easy, bro. They try to make it so easy. If these things happen and this will happen, you know, these are generations of kids fucked up through that whole epidemic. But then we want these kids to all of a sudden, y'all shouldn't be doing this shit no more. It ain't easy for them to get out of that shit. They've been raised in it. It's like a fucking racist in a way. Right? And I ain't comparing our kids to racists, but we do fuck shit. Like we went through some fucked up shit in our life. We've been taught. These is what our parents taught us. This is what our environment taught us. So this is all we know. It's all we know. We've been raised in this shit. These kids been raised in it. We helped them. We helped raise them in this shit. But we so quick as we made it or we older and we sit back and I can't believe. They're wild and they're crazy. No, they're not. No, they're not. They're doing the same shit that we did. And every generation got worse. In a way, because they had no guidance. Motherfuckers from my generation, a lot of them dead and gone. Fuck King Von and them little young niggas supposed to do. What they supposed to do? Nobody was there to teach them. We was gone. We was gone. Fuck you supposed to, how you supposed to teach these niggas? How they supposed to learn anything? We gone. So, streets. That's all I'm saying. Let's move on.
Oh. Wow. Thoughts.
It's a fact. I mean, trillions of
dollars
spent on the
you know the crazy shit about it? When we're having these conversations, every time you have these conversations, they always, in the audience, they always got people that don't look like us. Have people that look like us that's from that type of environment and we can explain it better. Not saying the sister didn't do a good job of how she tried to explain it the way she did it. That's her. I respect it. But have people that come from that fucking community that actually made it and actually can really speak on it. That don't have this like, because a lot of our people come from that environment with anger. We still bitter, especially after we know why a lot of this shit happened to our people. We're bitter about it. I ain't bitter. I don't feel like a victim either. A lot of times, black people, we make it from these communities, we make it from this environment, and then, you know, we get a little, you know, we get in a certain space and we sit back and we look back on our life like, damn, if we just had these opportunities, if these motherfuckers ain't do this, we would have this and we would have that. I don't give a fuck about this and that. I appreciate what the fuck where I'm at and what I got now. I can't worry about what they got. I only can worry about what the fuck I got right now. And contain and somehow, some way can control it and contain it. So only thing I can do. I can't worry about what everybody else got. That's the problem with some of our people. We worry about what everybody else got. No, bro, worry about, appreciate what the fuck you do got. Yes, we should have. Yeah, we should have what they got. Yeah, we know that. But why bitch you complain about it? I ain't saying we don't speak on it, but Stop pushing this narrative to everybody like we don't have solutions. We have solutions. It's solutions out here for our people. But our black people, a lot of us, we don't want to talk about that. We don't want to hear that. We just want to keep being mad. Playing victim. Nah, man. Listen. If the government ain't gonna help you, yo, we gotta help ourselves. And when you tell black people that, black people be like, you get some black people that be, listen, he on this pro-black shit. It ain't pro-black. I'm far from a pro-black dude. I'm telling you that you sitting around wasting time complaining about shit. And blaming these motherfuckers. You know they ain't gonna do shit. So what you keep complaining about it for? That's how I know when they killed off our leaders, when they killed off Malcolm and Martin. It took a part of us. It took something from us. They knew what they was doing. And for us black people not to understand that, and we don't sit there and we don't recognize that they took that away from us, that we need to gain that back. It's the reason they took Malcolm and Martin out. It's the reason they did that. Because if we had those brothers and those sisters from those earth that were still here with us, oh man, we wouldn't. As much as we'll still keep fighting, but we'd be stronger because we understand that we need each other. We need to take care of each other. We have to take care of each other. We keep worrying about what these motherfuckers ain't doing. We know they ain't gonna do it. So we got to keep fighting. But the number one thing, we got to take care of each other. And if we don't take care of each other, how the fuck we gonna fight? We ain't even on the same page with shit. We can disagree on certain shit, but there's certain shit we just don't disagree with. We all on one accord on certain things. We can't do that. We can't even be on one accord with these certain things. And then you wonder why the government, I mean, come on. What do you think about it? Why would you think the Democrat Party would give a fuck? Will only give you crumbs. Because they know that all we gotta do is pay a couple of these black Negroes off. Republicans too, they do the same shit. Pay a couple of these niggas, give them a little, get a little people, give them a little push. See, show a face, and them Negroes gonna be happy. They put plants in on both sides. They put plants in there for faces of us, for that look like us, so they can say, see, oh, they kind of doing something. No, they not. No, they not. They took token black niggas that somehow made it and came from where we come from. And then they used them to tell them, like, if they can do it, you can do it. No, that's not true. Everybody doesn't have what every black person doesn't have what every black person has. Some black people need a little more push. Some black people need a little bit more help than others. Some ain't as mentally strong than others. But they don't want to talk about that. They just want to say on a blanket state, if these black people right here, they put out there and they push out there, give them the talking points. You can do what I can do. It's a American dream. When you not thinking, these people been broken in ways that you can't think. It's hard to even think about how broken some of our people are. And we did, and a lot of it we did to ourselves. I told you, I blame 50% on us. And then I blame another 50 on those folks. A lot of this shit is our own fault. We done broke each other. We done broke each other down. We done took away somehow our you know, out confidence from each other. We done broke each other down. We disrespect each other so much, and it's just crazy. It's sad. And then we allow them to use faces to sit out there and act like we all good. We ain't all good. Because these Negroes made it. So you use them as token Negroes and photo ops and think that's supposed to mean something to me? Nah. Fuck out of here. I know better. I live amongst my people, so I know better. Let me tell you something, a real quick thing. And we're going to move on. And what nobody knows this about me. Every time I see black people on the corner, got signs and shit up, got the squeegees or whatever them niggas do, right? Shit breaks my heart, bro. I actually tear up when I see it. I said to myself, I said, for now on, once a month, I'm going to go to the ATM, or I might go to the bank. But I'm going to go to the bank and I'm going to get over $200 just in ones, fives, tens, 20s, whatever, right? And just have on me. Because I don't really have cash on me no more. I just don't. I never have cash on me. And the shit break my heart because I can't, like, just give them something. That shit hurt to see my people like that. I don't think I'm better than them because I got a little something. Y'all see me sitting in my little studio that I probably didn't spend about $2,000, $3,000 on. Okay. I feel good about I could afford it and get it for myself. But that shit to see, shit breaks my heart, bro. And I think we all should just have a couple of dollars on here and there. Give people a couple of dollars. Regardless of what they going to do with their money. Doesn't matter. Give them the money. At least you doing something. You trying to do something. That shit is heartbreaking, bro. See little young niggas out there, squeezes and shit. Come on, man. They young. Then you see older folks out there. You know they fucked up on the drugs. You know they ain't right. We just wind our windows up. Look the other way. Complain that they're there. It's a reason they there. That could be us. That could have been us. That could be a family member of ours. It probably is a family member of ours. It's our people. We gotta do better, man. We do too much complaining about the government. We do too much complaining about our own people. And you ain't gonna do right. It don't fucking matter sometimes. We know that already, but they're broken. They're broken. We got very intelligent black people that we see all the time, like Candace Owens out there. This bitch broken. What's the difference? This bitch is broken. Just like those brothers and sisters that you see on the corner begging for money. She ain't no different. She broken. Why you think she whoring herself out to sell out her own people? She broken. That you niggas will go and side with her. Some of y'all will go side with her and side with some of these other niggas on YouTube. Donate y'all money to them. But you see brothers and sisters on the corner and you do nothing. You turn a blind eye. Poor pieces of shit. Broke ass motherfucking niggas. But the whole time you'll give your money to a bitch that or person that'll sell us out. You acting like they're better. Because they speak a little truth here and there. That's why I don't beg y'all to donate to the channel. You do it because you want to. You feel you got the finances to do it. If you don't, Cool with me. I'm still gonna do what I do. Understand my role. Understand why the fuck I gotta do what I do. I'm in a position to do it. All of us don't. There's more black people out here that's more broken than I am. Than you are. Struggling way more harder than you, but we, look what we do to each other. It's one thing to say something about the government, but it's another thing to look at us in the fucking mirror and take self-responsibility of how we treat each other. But nobody want to talk about that. But anyway, let's move on. Let's hear the coonery from another broken ass black person that actually got millions of dollars and don't do shit to help out people, but tear us down. Watch the display.
Spent on the welfare system. Black Americans are poorer today than when it was established. Here's another fact. In the 1950s, under Jim Crow laws, Black Americans were outpacing white Americans.
And let me just say this. Need y'all to understand this. It's more black people than it was back then of what she's talking about. Keep that in mind. It's more black people. When she bring up statistics back in the day, yes, she's right. The problem is with that is that you don't fully tell the whole truth, is that it's more black people now. It's more black youth than it was back then. Because a lot of our kids, a lot of our young folks, a lot of our people had kids very young. And generations go on, Shit, my sister, she got 4 kids? Yeah, hold on. 4 kids. I got 1. And I'm only 4 years older than my sister. My little brother, he got about 7. Close to 7. I'm only a year older than him. You understand? A lot of these people was having kids young. It's a lot more black people than you think. And I told y'all, they don't count a lot of our black people that's in jail. A lot of these kids that's in jail. Because once they're in the system, they're in the fucking system. Nobody cares about them no more. They don't care about them. We don't have the time to care about them. They're gone. They're not counting them. The only time they count them is how many black people in jail. That's about it. Let's move on.
Americans in terms of economic growth. During Jim Crow, before they even said Civil Rights Act, and now you get your equal rights. Lyndon Baines Johnson, as I said, factually, the reason why they don't want people to know their history or learn history or be able to read books is because when you have those capabilities, you recognize how absolutely sinister and
that is not a lie. Who are you talking about? Who's they? Your party is the one that don't want to teach about this shit. What are you talking about? You ride with DeSantis and them and these people around here trying to ban books or even talking about Martin Luther King. You just disrespected Martin Luther King. What are you talking about? You can't have it both ways, Candace Owens. You can't say, the Democrats want to not talk about history. But then you got a whole party that you ride with that put it in policies to ban books. What are you talking about? Banning history. Lying about history. You lie about history. They don't want you to talk about that. Are you serious? You are the wrong person to be saying some shit like that. This is why I say about Candace Owens and people like her, yeah, they say some shit that makes some sense, but are they the right people to be saying anything? When they're contradicting themselves and not telling the truth and lying, and they're a part of a party that actually tried to ban black history, which is American history. We can talk about the good and the bad about black folks. It's nothing wrong with that. You acting like black people got a problem with that. You know who got a problem with talking about black history? Racist white folks. They don't want to talk about it. Because you know why? Because it makes them, their ancestors and themselves, look bad. But they okay at talking about how bad black people are, though. It's talking to history about how bad black people are. But they never want to talk about the good shit that black people do. They only want to talk about the good shit that their racist ancestors did. Think about that. But somehow Candace Owens, Sheepo's, Joe Budden wants to sit down with her because she want to talk about hoes. Nigga, please. That let me know what your mind is. You with a whole woman. You in a whole relationship. Why you want to talk about hoes, bro? Why you want to have somebody sitting there talking about hoes? And come find out, did some research, and it came from his own mouth. He said, oh no, I ain't gonna put it on YouTube. I'm gonna make motherfuckers pay for this interview. My people, I don't care who you are, don't pay for that interview. If that nigga gonna do that because he's mad because he's getting backlash from his own people of interviewing this bitch, if you can't take that, then nigga, and then your thing is to be petty or whatever the fuck goofy shit you want is to say, oh, I ain't even gonna put it out on YouTube. I ain't get it for free or whatever, however. Even though you still gonna make money off of YouTube because it's gonna make your views go up, I'm gonna make people pay extra for this interview. And I wouldn't have a problem with it if he wouldn't have said certain shit, but nigga, we'll find out about the interview. It'll come out, you bitch nigga. Cause at this point now, I heard what you said. Fuck you, Joe. Cause you getting backlash. If you can't handle the backlash, what the fuck you in the business for, nigga? You think everybody supposed to agree with your goofy ass, nigga? No. I know what I signed up for, nigga. I know I'm gonna get people in the chat, gonna leave comments, leave me email. I get it. It's gonna be backlash. I get it. From my people, other people, whoever. I'm built for it. I stand on my shit. But I'm gonna be consistent who the fuck I am as a person. Fuck you, Joe. And I'm saying it. Nobody should go over there and buy his Patreon bullshit with his interview with Candace Owens. Oh, he ain't gonna put it out. What the fuck? You go sit down with the hoe for? I mean, sit down with this coon for? You the one made it this big thing like that. Yeah, I'm gonna sit down with Candace Owens and pick her mind about these things. Then he tried to break it. Then this is the hypocritical shit that he said. And I think I might play this. I'll probably play this sound bite that he did, so people won't think I'm lying, right? Then he said some goofy shit and he like almost lied, right? He says, "Oh well." You remember the reason he wanted to interview Candace Owens? He wanted to interview Candace Owens because he was talking about she was talking about entertainers that do whole shit, right? And he likes that. So he was like, man, I want to do an interview with Candace Owens, just talk about the whole shit. Then he says, what is motherfucker? I heard the song, but he says, oh, I don't want to talk about. He was like, nah. He was like, I'm gonna talk about her background, why she even came to this conclusion of where she is and how she speaks about, talk bad about the black community. He knows that she talks bad. So you're doing it for views. So that's number one. But then number two, you know that she talking bad about our people. But you want to go back to the reason of why she switched over the way she did. We already know. And if you don't know that, why are you trying to push that propaganda? It was some shit he said about Adam 22. Nigga, well, you doing the same shit. Just doing it in a little different way. You know this woman should not be on your platform. You know you shouldn't be interviewing her. She already have a platform to do what she does. Let's move on, man. Hold on. Let's take a quick commercial break, people. We'll be right back. Alright, people, we back from quick commercial break. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button so you guys get the live streams when you go live, people. And if you can, donate to the channel. Go to OBF The Real Cash App and donate to the channel, people. We highly appreciate anything you guys could donate to the channel. Excuse me. Need more information to subscribe and donate to the channel. It's down there strolling below, people. Make sure you guys hit the like button, people. Make sure you guys share the videos, man. It helps the movement to keep moving, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, Joe can get out here with that shit. You can get out here with that shit. I heard what I heard, I said, oh, nah. Oh, now I can roast your bitch ass. Because I already knew you was going to be on some fuck shit just off of what you was saying. But anyway, let's move on. But I tried to hold back because I was like, I ain't see the interview. Now, you don't want to put the interview out because you're getting backlash from the community. Same community that you say you give a fuck about. And all of us, we don't always have to agree with you, Joe. You can do some fuck shit like I can do some fuck shit, and we can get backlash from it. We gotta respect our people that they gonna check our ass sometimes. You acting like you can't be checked. Who the fuck you think you is, goofy nigga? Stop saying you rep. I'm tired of people saying these motherfuckers keep saying they represent our people, but they can't take the backlash from some of our people. We don't get to just get up here and just, oh, everybody supposed to agree with everything I do. Man, get the fuck out of here. That's not how that goes, bro. All black people ain't the same, you goofy ass motherfuckers. Anyway, let's move on to this ridiculous bullshit that this bitch is saying.
How avowedly racist Lyndon Baines Johnson was. Don't believe me? Check his record in the Senate, right? Every time there was a measure to help black Americans, he voted against it virulently. And so you have that. They create this system, and the system literally says we will give you more money if you don't marry the father of your children, to break down the black family. You fast forward today, you look at... Time out.
Candace Owens, that didn't just come from Democrats, though. That came from both sides that did that. You got to go back and look at who people voted for that shit for. It was Republicans and Democrats that was okay with that. You just trying to blame one party. I broke this shit down a while ago, people, about this. Listen. Yes, what she's saying is true. The lie is that she's just trying to blame the Democrats for that. That is not true. It was both sides. Welfare, before it was welfare, it was some shit that was from when a war that we did when we went over there to help fight, to help the Jews out. We was out there fighting the Nazis and shit. And back then, it was men. It wasn't women. It was a lot of men. Men had to leave their households, leave their businesses. They got drafted to go over there and fight them wars. So a lot of the women had to pick up and start working at some of these businesses. A lot of them couldn't because they had kids. So the economy was fucked up by the time they came back. They lost houses. They lost these things. They was in debt. The economy was fucked up. So what did the government do? They all signed off on it. It wasn't just, oh, the Democrats. No, nigga, the Republicans too. It was welfare for white folks. Black people didn't even get that. We didn't even get that part for the housings and all that, the welfare, the white welfare. Before it was so-called welfare for black folks, it was welfare for white folks. We didn't even get any of that from the government. We were still segregated. We didn't get none of those benefits. What is she talking about? We had to come, you know what happened? Black people had to come home and, them black men had to come home and start over. We was already fucked up, but we had to come home. A lot of black men had to come home and start over. Not them white folks. Not them white folks. Them white folks came home and got those benefits. The welfare that they claim that black people take advantage of and it hurts all people. I get that, right? But before it was on us, they made us the face of it. It was white folks that got it. The same shit that they was getting back then. When Martin and them civil rights that's when we started to get it. And then they put stipulations on it, or what she's talking about is that, you know, no man can be in the house. What? She not lying about that. But that wasn't just a Democrats. That was both sides. People keep acting like both sides really fuck with black people like that. They did not. The only reason listen, people don't want to be real about it. The only reason they passed the Civil Rights Act is because of the simple fact they killed Martin Luther King. And those white people that were Republicans at the time, which was really the Democrats turned into the Democrats now, which was JF Kennedy and them, because they wound up killing his ass. Okay, listen, it was a lot of shit going on then. They killed leaders, bro. Okay? Now, understand, JF Kennedy was going to do it, but they assassinated him. So the motherfucking president that she talking about, he did what he did when he came in. He just followed right into suit. But he was a racist too. She ain't lying about that, but both sides was racist. People keep forgetting who the Dixiecrats was. They was Dixiecrats back then. Now they switched over to the Republic. Both sides was racist. Put it like that. You think that JF Kennedy really wanted to do that shit with Martin Luther King? No. He understood that they didn't want another civil war. The movement was big. It was getting big. Where you started to see even white folks, Jewish people, Italians was starting to be like, yeah, man, this shit bullshit. Yeah, they treating us a certain type of way too. Not as worse as the blacks, but you know, it's about the same though. And then you got Martin out that motherfucking the whole civil rights and then you got Malcolm and all of them out there speaking that shit. Like, yo, come on, man. This is why we need to educate ourselves on our history. Because what Candace Owens and them like to do, they like to ignore what the times where we were. They was acting like Martin and our black people had all these rights. We didn't even have rights. But somehow we got rights and shit got fucked up. It did. But that's because they killed off our leaders. They assassinated them. They didn't just kill them off, they assassinated them. And it wasn't just the Democrats that did that. It was the Republicans and the Democrats. Man, come on, man. people, just think about it. They say what they say about the Democrats now, right? You know, Democrats, or you hear black people say, "Oh, the Democrats just give us enough just to get by." Well, that's how the Republicans was back then, and then they switched over to the Democrats because they were trying to change some shit, right? But they, you know, the Dixiecrats at the time, which is Republicans now, was trying to fuck that up. It wasn't like we like, for some odd reason they acting like both parties was good people back then. They was not. Regardless if the Civil Rights Act got passed or whatever, it doesn't matter. Like, they both was bad. It's no different than it is now. They both bad. One side is just worse than the other. That's it. They had their coon sellout niggas. How do you think Malcolm got assassinated? How do you think Martin got assassinated? Came from our own people. We had token Negroes like Candace Owens and them back then. Candace Owens would have been that type of person to get us assassinated. She'd have been a part of it. And she's doing it now. Assassinating black people's character. Stereotyping us. Disrespecting us. Who do you think she's doing? She ain't doing no difference.
Look at the circumstance in Black America, how Black Americans are suffering, and how they can't attribute it back to the very same people. They actually go say, we need more governance in order to fix this, right? Because you have these things like BLM that pop up that are sponsored by the government that convince Black Americans to riot.
First of all, Candace Owens, if that's the case, then you know what? Who you work for gets sponsored by the government too. Where do you think you get a lot of your motherfucking funds from? Corporations, government. Where you think your bosses get their money from? What are you talking about? All this shit is corrupt. So your side don't take money from corporations? What are you talking about? Your corporations on the right don't take money from the government? What are you talking about? Everybody gets money from the fucking government. Everybody. This is what I keep telling everybody. We can blame government, I get that. But when you have crooked people in government, regardless of what party they from, they all are stealing from the poor, the less fortunate. Candace Owens is doing it her damn self. And not even knowing it, or she do know. But either way, it's fucked up. Why do you think they were so mad at Bernie? Huh? On both sides. Democrats and Republicans. Why do you think they were so mad? Why do you think they even joined? They joined together to get rid of Bernie and fuck the progressive movement. You had even Democrats going against them because you know why? Because they all take corporate money. They all take government money. They all take advantage of us. Bernie was the only motherfucker that was sitting up there telling them that's what they was doing, and they ain't like it. You see the AOCs, all them, they don't like them. Ask yourselves why. Both sides don't like the progressive side. Why? They don't like people like me. I'm a progressive. If you want to label me in a way, I'm an independent progressive. Why do you think they don't like me? People like me. Why? Because I tell the truth about both sides. And when you tell the truth that both of them do the same goddamn thing when it comes to getting dark money and getting corporate money, they don't like that. It's like the Democrats say, oh, you know, the Republicans work for Wall Street. So do you. So do you. It's like Matt Gaetz. He come out days. He don't get corporate money. He's a goddamn liar. He's a liar. I don't get money from corporations. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. When Bernie say I don't get money from corporations, it's factual. When they say, well, how's that? How he raised all this money? You know how he did? From unions. Unions donated to him. Regular folks donate money to him, not a corporation. Corporations don't like Bernie. You think the corporations gonna give Bernie Sanders money? Hell no. He goes against them. So why would they give him money? It's so much dark money in politics. That's why that's why we still got poor people in the country. We have to have poor people in the country. We have to. We have to have poor people. You know why? Because who's going to work for nothing? Poor people. The people that struggle every day. We ain't poor, but we in that realm. 9 to 5 workers, we in the realm. Why you think a lot of the corporate Democrats and even the Republican Party sided with corporate? They side with corporate business. Why you think that? Somebody got to work them jobs. They don't want to pay us. They want to keep us where we are. That ain't just a Democrat thing. That ain't just a Republican thing. That's both sides. But they don't want to tell you that. They want to sit there and just have you sitting there. Democrats doing this, Republicans doing this. You doing that? You doing that? Like they want to have us doing this instead of paying attention. Because if you're doing this, you're doing that, and not paying attention to what right there in front of you, they got you. They got you. Let's make this a Democrat Republican. Let's make this let's look at both sides. No, nigga. They both doing the same shit. They both doing the same shit. But they want to sit there and pretend that they're not. Listen, ask yourselves this. If you think I'm tripping, ask yourselves this. Why is the government? These are supposed to be million and billionaires. Why we got to bail them out? I'll wait. Why is that? Let's go off of the recent shit. The COVID shit happened. These are supposed to be billionaires. Supposed to be some of the 1%. Supposed to be the richest people in some of the richest people in the world. In the world. We're not just talking about America. In the world. But they need us to bail them out. They need to take our money, our taxpayer money. They didn't even want to give us money. So when they were talking about the stimulus shit, they didn't even want to give us that. Neither side did, really. The only reason it happened because of Bernie and them. And the only reason the Democrats did it was because of the simple fact it was a good campaign thing for them, to make them look good. They didn't want to give us no money. They didn't give a fuck about us losing our houses and shit. You know why? Because you know what happens? The rich people come in and take your houses, rebuild them, and overprice, and you ain't got no choice but to pay for it. Why were all those people that was in those banks, the higher ups, that's worth millions of dollars, they needed a bailout? Why? Why they need a bailout? Because they were stealing from the poor. They was getting all these millions of fucking dollars, even in a pandemic. And they wasn't putting money back in their business. You know why the small businesses got hurt? Because they wasn't millionaires. They was small. They call small businesses for a reason, my people. They're not making no money like that. They're not making millions of dollars like that. They're making close to $1 million, or even if they was making a couple of $1 million, but about time it broke down, like one little shit happened to them, they gone. You know how easy it is if a person lose their job? They could be making $500,000 a year. That's why the middle class got broken, right? You can make $500 million a year, right? But we so stupid, right? Even the middle class, stupid. Thinking that, oh, I'm going to go out here and get these houses, you know what I mean? Pay these mortgages, but understand you still, after you pay your mortgage, you buy the house, it's yours, right? You still got to pay property tax. You had a lot of middle class people still paying mortgage on $500,000 houses, riding around in all these expensive called $1 billion, having all these good suits on because they working at these good jobs to pay their bills, right? And then what happened? They get fired. All that shit goes away. All those, that $500,000 house, them $500,000 cars or $200,000 cars, all that shit goes away because they don't own shit. And even if they owned it, they can't pay the insurance on it because you know why? They ain't got no job. They can't pay for it. And don't get it twisted, acting like, oh, they ain't had no savings. Oh yeah, they did. They ran through the savings. They ran through their goddamn savings. That's what happened. That's usually what happened in society in America. But they want to sit here and pretend and tell y'all, hey man, you see somebody that live in the suburbs in the middle class, and they lose in a pandemic, something tragic happened, they lose their job, nigga, they can't afford that shit no more. That's why when people saying there's no such thing of the middle class no more, because it's no different than a poor person. If a poor person lose their job, it was no different from somebody that was a fucking person that lived in the middle class. You lose your job, you losing all that shit, and you only qualified to do whatever job you doing. You ain't qualified to do nothing else. And you go work at Burger King, motherfucker like, oh, if he just go work about 2-3 jobs at Burger King, Popeyes, or something like that, or work in the warehouse, you think that middle class person, that little money can pay for their lifestyle? Fuck no. Goddamn idiots. Can't pay for that shit. Just a bunch of idiots, stupid people. Just rolling around pretending it's American dream. Yeah, you get the American dream for a little bit until you lose your job. Till the government fuck your money up. These politicians and the government fuck your money up. So now that same corporation that you work for had to lay you off. Had to fire you. Had to let you go. You probably got covered out. Last you about 6 months, but imagine you out for 2-3 months, and your bills is $100,000 a month. Where you getting $100,000 from? Huh? Where you getting $50,000 from? You can pay that shit off for a couple of months, but that's about it, and you're going to lose everything. And you can't get a fucking job? Are you fucking serious? That's why they say there's no such thing as the middle class anymore. Because I told you, everybody is one mistake from being poor. Think about it. If you ever notice in the country for the last 20 years, they don't let you own your house. It's hard to own a house. It's hard to own your business. It's hard to own. Even if you own it, you're still paying taxes on it. Nigga, my mother-in-law been owning a house for almost 20-something years. I ain't say 20, I say 13 years. My grandma, same thing. My grandma owned her house probably about, and she live in the hood. Listen, probably about 20. My grandma owned her shit for about 20 years. My mother-in-law owned her shit for 20 years. Listen, they still pay property taxes way high. They up in this shit even in the state of Maryland. We spend way too much money on police. I told you that's where a lot of our money go. Law enforcement. We keep, with taxpayer money, paying these people that go around and murder and kill and disrespect the community. But we keep paying them. We gotta keep putting money into them. You know why education ain't that high? You know why? Because they take money away from education. And then the communities that we get a percentage every year from taxes from federal, from the government. And then they take 60 to 70% of that money and put it into the good neighborhoods, the good community schools. They don't put it in the poor neighborhoods. They probably give them about 40, 30%. And then even with that money, they still don't get all that money there. That's why they tax people. Because they out here fucking the money up. We got the wrong people in power. I keep telling y'all that. There's no way impossible, yo, that somebody that live 20 miles from me, their school is way more better off than mine. Or where I live close to the inner city. There's no way impossible. Everybody should get the same shit. But they don't do it. They go off of it as the tax bracket. We all still paying same money. And actually, the crazy shit about it, they set the tax bracket up as the less you make, the less you get back. I mean, the more you get back, right? But what they don't understand is that when you do that, is that the people that pay less in taxes, right? That to the poor people, right? We're not getting the same shit back of helping our communities out. But in the good communities, they're paying more taxes, but they're getting more. And it shouldn't be that way. The tax bracket should be all the same. Because I guarantee you, if all the tax brackets was the same, you pay them now. We fuck how much money they make. All right, we pay them. What we pay the poor people pay less than taxes, right? Okay, cool. Right. So what happens is, if you do that, pay everybody, everybody got to pay the same tax bracket. You know what happens is, and now they got to spread that money out equally. But they ain't going to do that. Because now they're going to say, well, they pay more in taxes up here, But they can afford that over there because it's not like my community. My community poor. Excuse me. My community is poor, so we only can pay whatever we can pay. So they only gonna give us back what we pay in taxes. So that means my school, my neighborhoods or whatever only gonna get certain type of money. But if everybody paying the same taxes, regardless, if it's high or low, we all gonna get the same outcome. Even if you charge us higher, we still gonna get the same back as another community. You have to keep people poor. It's a reason you have a tax bracket. There's a reason for that. Because you have to keep these people below poverty. You have to keep them poor. You have to. Because if you don't have that, then you won't have people complaining about shit. What can these politicians run off of then? Everybody don't get the American dream. Why can't I get an American dream of living in a community that's fucked up but if you put enough money and we are putting this money up and then you ain't got no choice but to fix my community up. Why would we complain? Why would you have anything to run off of? Why? You have nothing to run off of if we getting all treated equally, right? Regardless if you're rich or poor or what color skin you, we all getting treated equally. Same money you put into if we all get the same tax bracket, they paying the same taxes that the poor people pay. Sooner or later, the poor people gonna come up because now they can use the same money, and the rich ain't gonna be able to overdo some shit and pay for their shit to get better than ours because they only getting certain type of money that we getting. So what happens is then now we have to start saying, hey, let's give back a little bit more to this community, to these communities. And then when that happens, you uplift the poor community. Now the poor community is on the same level as the rest. So now you ain't got no poor communities. It's on purpose. And it's not one side doing this. It's both sides. It's both sides doing it. It ain't just the Democrats. It ain't just the Republicans. It's both sides. They both are doing it. And then everybody sitting there, they tripping like, oh, they can't understand this. No, nigga, it's right. You can comprehend this. This is very simple. Think about it. You ever been to a good community? They streets ain't no bumps in the roads. Nigga, they shit smooth. Go to where the inner city is. Shit all fucked up and bumpy. Fuck your cars up. Why you think that? It's on purpose. They half-ass fix our roads. They do a little pot, fix a little pot here and there. But there's still another pot, like couple of things up. Why you think they do that? Y'all better pay attention and stop appreciate that, Zeke. Listen, listen, man. Y'all better pay attention. Stop allowing these people to sit here and bamboozle you with politics. Pay attention. See what's going on around you and your community. Wonder why your roads is fucked up. But I done been to good communities. Ooh, fucking communities is good. And understand, these be the same people that tell you we Christians over here. We very religious. We good people. If my community is good, why the fuck am I mad that I pay a little extra in taxes to help people that's less fortunate? Why is that? I'm religious. I care about others. Let's help the poor. I don't want to just keep bringing them foods. Let's fix their roads. How about let's bring some jobs? You know why they don't want to do that? Because now they on their level. They can come up. So it ain't really poor shit going on. People having opportunities. They don't want people to have opportunities. That's both sides of that shit. That ain't just Democrats. That ain't just Republicans. That's both sides of that shit. They don't want these. They don't want poor people or people like us that work 9 to 5s and shit like that. They don't really want us to come up. They want us to get right there and stop us. Pay attention. It's right there in your face. You just don't pay attention because they trying to confuse you so you can do this. Republicans, Democrats, Republicans, Democrats. And so don't pay attention. That is both sides. You had Bernie Sanders sitting right there. You had the progressive movement right there in 2018, 2019. Shit, you can say the whole time Trump was in office. You had him right there. You had the motherfucker that was supposed to do what I'm talking about and fix some shit. But you know what black people did? A lot of us did. He don't know how to talk to black people. Shit. Hey, half of the time I don't know how to talk to y'all. I don't know. I'm a black man. I don't know how to talk to all black people. And I'm black. So I try to be as real as I can be and genuine as I can be. Don't mean that's going to reach everybody. Doesn't mean that all black people going to be like, oh, he said some real shit. No. But that's because of your intellect. And and it comes from being in a cult of America. It ain't just Democrats. It ain't just we in a cult. We all kind of like on some fuck shit. Like we don't see this shit. It's right here in our face and we just ignoring it. These motherfuckers telling you what they're doing and you just sitting there like, let's do this Republican Democrat shit. What? Let's be MAGA. What? We with Biden. Let's be on the Biden. What? I'm going to tell you some real shit. And we're going to move on. Shout out to Joe. What up, Joe? Listen, I'll tell you some real shit. People said out here, and they was talking about, oh, Joe Biden was speaking truth, and he was saying. Joe ain't had no choice but to say that. He had no choice. Of course it made sense. Of course it was truth. He wasn't lying about the shit he was saying, but you know why, Joe? Think about that. Even that bill. You know why Joe even considered that bill? And he knows it's fucked up. But the only reason he considered it because he knew they wasn't going to do it. He knew they wasn't going to do it. That's why he was like, it was a Republican that came over the bill, and we was going to ride with it. They got a little shit that they wanted out of it, but it was mainly going to be a fucked up bill. That border bill was fucked up. You know why Joe did it? Because he knew they wasn't going to do it. And stupid motherfuckers sat out here and was like, oh, Joe was about fixing the border. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. Because that's not Joe Biden. That's not what the Democrat Party wanted to do. If go read the bill, that's not what they wanted to do. And here Democrats talk. That wasn't the bill that they wanted to do. They did it because they knew that shit wasn't going to go through. because Trump wasn't going to let it go through. He knew that. That's why he did it. So now he can campaign off of it. Y'all, it was y'all bill. Y'all didn't want it. It was smart. But at the same time, think about what he did. He know that bill was bad, but he still was going to allow it to go through if they wanted it. So he can get the votes. So he's not really doing shit to actually really help the migrants. He's not really trying to help the situation. He's not really trying to help America. He just did that shit on some political shit. These are facts. I told y'all I'm not a Democrat or Republican. So I ain't gonna sit here and try to pretend that like Joe Biden is doing this great shit. He's not. I'm just telling you, he's just better than Trump. At this period of time of where we are in history, the Democrats are just better than Republicans. That's just it. I don't want to be in a civil war. I don't want to go back to how shit used to be. So I'm looking at these two parties. I'm like, okay. Gotta ride with Democrats. Gotta ride with Joe around on this shit. Regardless if I know he doing this shit on some bullshit, but at least I know probably he gonna stand on it. Because if he doesn't, shit gonna look bad for him. Let's take a quick commercial break, people. We'll be right back. Alright, people, we're back from quick commercial break. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button so you guys get the live streams when we go live, people. And if you can, donate to the channel. Go to OBF The Real Cash App and donate to the channel. We highly appreciate anything you guys can donate to the channel. Need more information to subscribe and donate to the channel? It's down there scrolling below, people. Make sure you guys hit the like button, people. And make sure you guys share the videos, man. Keep the movement moving. Keep the movement moving. Yeah, man. Let's get in there. But, man, people don't pay attention to shit. And that's just a part of what it is. This is just finish listening to what Candace Owens saying. It's bullshit.
And to loot down their own neighborhoods, to set them backwards even further. And they are completely deluded in believing that it's the white man that is causing these issues when it has always been the government that has caused these issues. And abortion is an infuriating topic, again, not knowing.
But Candace Owens, who runs the government? So is the government ran by a lot of minorities? Well, listen, my bad, Candace Owens. Was the government back in the day, or what you talking about, was ran by blacks and minorities? I'll wait. So black people put these policies in. Minorities put these policies in. Who was it? It was white men. It was white people. What are you talking about? And white men, because white women ain't even had no rights like that. It was white men. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Ooh, she's slow. She's slow, people. Excuse me. She's slow. Candace Owens slow. I told y'all she ain't that damn bright. Listen, you can't act like people tripping over who was running the country back then. It was white men. It wasn't black men. It wasn't black Mexican men, Chinese men, Muslim men. I mean, who was running the country? Who's the majority? More than the majority. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? It wasn't no white women. It wasn't no black women. It wasn't no black men. What are you talking about? People, we're still in 2024, and it's certain shit that black people do. It be like it's the first black person to do something. Think about that. We've been past the civil rights era for almost 80 years. And motherfuckers is still talking about the first black person to do this. But this bitch is sitting out here pretending like it wasn't white people holding black people down. What? Well, who was it? Was it us? We had no power. Listen, even in 2024, Candace Owens, we don't have no power. Just because you can sit up there with them white folks like that and speak that nonsense you speak, you ain't got no power. Not really. You don't really have that power like that. And you're speaking that racist language. So that's why you can sit up there with them white folks. You sell out as a coon. This shit is... You act like you the first coon? You act like you the first house nigga? Oh, come on. Please. This woman is ridiculous. But anyway, let's move on. Let's move on, man.
Again, not knowing history, seeing women parrot things like my body, my choice, and not knowing where that literal birth control propaganda and abortion propaganda came from. Well, you should read Margaret Sanger's writings. She wrote a piece called Birth Control Propaganda. She was another avowed racist and avowed eugenicist, not just towards black Americans, because at that time, Italians were coming in, Germans were coming in.
But I thought that America was never a racist country. If these people that she's calling racist had this power to push that, right? Because it wasn't just this woman, just this one person that she's talking about, just pushed this shit, and the shit got pushed, right? Got accepted, right? And she's calling her racist, right? She's just one person. She needs a whole bunch of other racists to back it. But I thought America wasn't a racist country. It was never a racist country. You listen to Tim Scott and the rest of them. Listen to y'all coon asses. So now she a racist though. I thought racism doesn't exist. See, listen. People don't understand. Racism come with power. Too. Right? That's why I always tell y'all, black people can't be racist. We ain't got no power. We can't be racist. We ain't got no power like that. We ain't even second-class citizens no more. Think about that. We like third or fourth. What power we got? We got influence, but we ain't got no power. But I thought America wasn't a racist country. It's never built on racism. You hear the Candace Owens word, the Nikki Haley's word, the country was never built on racism. Well, why racists somehow had power to pass racist policies and keep black people as slaves? And then after we got out of slavery, they still had power somehow, right? Because racism doesn't exist. that they still somehow segregated us. Jim Crow You remember all this shit? Because it's a part of history. We can't make this up. It's a part of American history. So I'm trying to figure out with the Nikki Haley's of the world and others. Just because your parents tell you what they tell you doesn't mean that the country ain't what it really is. Society ain't what it really is. It's like imagining a God that they have never seen. They're trying to get y'all to pretend, well, country was never really built on racism. Because my mom and my dad told me, your mom and dad can tell you whatever the fuck they want to tell you. They could have been lying to you. How about that? Could your parents could have been lying to you to spare your feelings? Parents do that, you know. People that care about you do that. It's like my daughter. I know all this horrible shit out here that goes on. I shield her from it. It's on purpose. But I know these issues are out here. I know this shit can happen to her. But I shield her from it. And just because I shield her from it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. What the fuck is wrong with her? What the fuck is wrong with these people? But mind you, they're supposed to be very intelligent. The biggest and the brightest. Nikki Haley was sitting out the biggest and brightest. She was running for president. Bitch, please. Bitch, please. And don't act like your struggles is the same as black people. Your Indian family came over like it was the same, bitch. It wasn't. The only reason your Indian family could even be over here, your mom and your dad, it was because of our. So don't disrespect our shit. That's why black people was offended by what this bitch said. You wouldn't even be over here. Your ass would be born over there, wherever the fuck, Indian or wherever the fuck you from. Wherever you fuck your family from. Bitch. And that goes to the rest of you motherfuckers. I don't give a fuck if you African. You ain't black Americans. Fuck are you talking about? You ain't from here. Don't speak on our shit like you know what we like, cause you read some books, bitch, and you got a little educated, and then you miseducated at that. And the reason I say that is because you ain't from where we from. Just like me going over to Africa, acting like I know, cause I read some books and I know what African shit is from afar. Cause I read some books. If I ain't experienced none of that shit over there, I don't know. I don't know shit about Africa. I read some books. So what? What that mean? I read some shit about Venezuela or Pakistan or Indian countries and shit. So what? Chinese countries, so Japanese countries, so what? I ain't from there. I don't know the culture. I ain't grow up in it. You got Chinese people and all these different nationalities here, and black people still don't know. Black Americans still don't know what the fuck they shit is. But you know why? Because they segregate themselves from us on purpose. This ain't no motherfucking American dream, bitch. They don't even want to share their culture. The only culture in this country that's open to all cultures is black people. Black culture. Black American people. The rest of the culture, white, whatever, Hispanic, whoever. It's all, they don't want us really a part of their shit. But they want to come over and fuck with our shit. They want to take advantage of it. They want to use it. You don't like civil rights, none of you bitches would be here. Remember the Chinese people got rid of what was that shit for the college shit? I forgot what they the Supreme Court did and took it down. None of you bitches would even be here for that. Your kid wouldn't even have an opportunity to go to those colleges if it wasn't for that. You couldn't say, go to the Supreme Court and say, that's why the Supreme Court shit fucked me up. The whole reason of affirmative action and all these things was to make other people have other opportunities, have the same opportunities. But you try to say that black people was discriminating against because somehow they were stopping y'all biggest and brightest. How y'all bigger and brighter than us? How you know that? How we was stopping your shine? But let me say this to the Chinese people, Japanese, whoever the fuck you are, whoever roll with it, whatever y'all wanted to do. Let me just say this about the whole thing about the college shit. Let me say this. You'll never be better than black people. It may hurt, and they be like, Kenny, why you saying that? Fuck them. And I ain't talking about all of them, but I'm just saying, you'll never be brighter than us. Never be smarter than us. You know why? And you know what? The real reason why that is because we the culture. We move the culture. Y'all still from the culture. You bite from our culture. Every race in this country bite from our shit. Every race. That goes for the Africans. That goes for all of them. You bite from the black Americans. You come over here with your little culture, y'all got your little days and all that other shit, but you still steal from black people shit. You're still mad because your culture don't matter over here really like that. Let's be real. See, they done pissed me off. They done got me on some other shit. Your culture don't really matter over here. We was the one that was open to it. It wasn't the white folks that you side with, the racist people. The racist white folks, we accepted you. We was okay with your culture being over here. Believe it or not, we fought for your culture to be over here. We did that. The black people. Black Americans. Not the whites. We did. Remember that the next time you bitches side with them motherfuckers before you side with us. Remember that. Your culture wouldn't matter over here if it wasn't for us. And shout out to the Native Americans too. Let me just say this on real talk though. Because people always like to have this thing that they like to do. Black people never had a problem with Native American people. You notice we never talk about Native Americans? We never like have an issue with them. You know why? Because they don't speak bad on us. You ever notice that? The Native Americans don't speak bad on us. I mean, you have a little small percentage that may do that because they on some fuck shit. But overall, the Native Americans never talk bad about us. Ever. And we don't talk bad on them. You ever notice that? It's always these motherfuckers that come from other countries that want to come over here and talk bad about black people. And then they get mad when black people check they bitch asses. Black Americans check them. Fuck out of here with that shit. You bitches wouldn't have no culture over here if it wasn't for us. Remember that. Remember that. The next time you want to talk bad about us, You can go and listen to the Candace Owens of the world all you want. That bitch don't represent us. We don't like that bitch. You can have that bitch if you want to. But don't speak down on our fucking people. Don't speak down on our culture either, bitch. Because you wouldn't even have your culture over here if it wasn't for us. Don't disrespect us. I'm sick of that shit. And I don't give a fuck what race you from, what culture you from. You ain't from the black culture, don't ever disrespect us. And I don't give a fuck if you in our black culture. Ain't no black motherfuckers that's from our culture disrespect our culture like that, and we call them coons out. Get them the fuck up out of here. Candace Owens is one of them. Fuck out of here. You ain't got no motherfucking, you ain't got no say, no rights over here if it ain't for us. Your culture don't mean shit over here if it wasn't for our culture, and then you still steal from our shit. Fuck out of here. Why you think Puerto Ricans is Pat Jordan? We were part of hip hop. We ain't say you wasn't. All we said you ain't created. And they are facts. You didn't create hip hop. We did. We created the culture. We didn't say you ain't have a part in it. We just said you ain't created. And that got up under y'all skin. My Puerto Ricans, some of my Puerto Rican brothers and sisters, get the fuck out of here. Put the fucking respect on our name, nigga. You the one want to divide yourself and acting like you ain't really black. Because them white people, because y'all ain't nothing but mixed breeds. You ain't nothing but mixed breeds. Fuck out of here. Sick of these motherfuckers. And I ain't saying all my brothers and sisters that's Puerto Rican. I'm not talking all about all of y'all. But they know who I'm talking about. Fuck out of here. And that goes to all the other cultures. I'm not talking about all of y'all, but they know who they are. They know who I'm talking about. None of you motherfuckers got any rights to do nothing in this country if it wasn't for us. None of y'all. Put some fucking respect on the name and stop disrespecting us. You have no motherfucking rights if it wasn't for our people. Black Americans. Put that right, motherfuckers. Put some fucking respect on our name and stop disrespecting us. Rolling around this bitch. And like you better than us. You ain't better than us, bitch. Fuck out of here. Better check your motherfucking self. Because like I said, whenever them racist white, if Trump get in office and them racist motherfuckers start getting in a race war, who you think they gonna go after? First. It ain't gonna be y'all. It's gonna be us. And now y'all gotta decide if you gonna be a house nigga or you gonna ride or you gonna be a field nigga. Now your blackness come in, bitches. What you gonna do? You been copying and stealing our shit for years. You gonna sell us out? And side with the racists when shit get real? Remember that, motherfuckers. That goes for the Italians or whoever the fuck they are. Go for all you motherfuckers. The Italians, you act like you come over here. We all know y'all Europeans, but y'all the same Europeans getting disrespected over here. And it ain't come from blacks. It came from the white Americans. That was the same Europeans like y'all were. Your own people did it to you. And then you try to sit over here and you be racist to black people. Italian people. Some of you Italians. Fuck y'all too. Remember who the fuck you talking to, motherfuckers.
for coming in. I think I saw on your Wikipedia your grandpa came in 1890. They hated them too. They were racist toward them too. And her thing was, when she wrote this, to Dr. Clarence Gamble of the Procter and Gamble family, a rich kid who inherited $1 million just for being born in the right family, who was also concerned about immigrants and black people procreating. She wrote in a letter, you can go look it up. We don't want word to get out that we want to sterilize the black race. So how do we package to them? She said we can make an appeal to their ministers.
Now, mind you, all that shit sound good. But what she doesn't tell you is that both parties on both sides was good with it. How did it get passed? You think it was just more Democrats then? Or more Republicans then to pass those type of policies and bills and do that type of shit? No, it took both sides to do it. She keep acting like that shit don't matter. Let's move on, man.
To the churches and tell them to sell this sort of a thing. And so it's infuriating. I look forward to the day when we can stand outside of a Planned Parenthood clinic and it will be a Holocaust museum for the black people that have been murdered systematically, intentionally, by racists.
First of all, it's so, to use the Holocaust like that, it's so disrespectful to the Holocaust survivors and the people that died. So disrespectful to them. So disrespectful to them. Cause that ain't happening in the Holocaust. They was just killing all babies because people was pregnant. That was not happening. They was killing babies, but I'm just saying it wasn't like what she's trying to like say it's the same shit. It's not. Okay, listen. Was it a part of the government that was trying to kill all black babies? Yes, of course it was. Yes. But it's not the Holocaust. Okay? Nobody was like, hey, taking black women, making them have, like, forcefully making them kill their kids. Or kill, or have, I'm sorry, not kill their kids, but killing, having an abortion. Nobody was making them physically doing that. Hitler was doing something that was totally different. The fuck are you talking about? He was actually literally killing kids that was born. What are you talking about? He was killing pregnant women. What are you talking about, bitch? It's not the same. Listen, can people mentally fuck people up? Yes. But nobody physically made any of these women go have an abortion. Nobody. Nobody made them physically threaten them have an abortion. It's not the same. But mind you, this is the same woman that'll sit there and praise Hitler, though. If Hitler was so bad, then why are you going against shit that he was going against? If he was so bad, if it was the same like the Holocaust, why you praise him then? She praised him. Her and that punk ass nigga Kanye West. That mentally ill nigga. If Hitler was so bad, why you praise him? Tell me how that makes sense. You can't have it both ways, my people. This bitch can't have it both ways. I tell people this all the time. All the religious people. Regardless of what you think. You think people having abortion, taking birth control, is killing kids. Okay, fine. You believe in God, right? Well, that's on them. That's like with me, with y'all fake asses. I let y'all go ahead, feel the way you want to feel. We'll see at the end who right and who wrong. See, we all gotta go see that big man upstairs. I ain't God. These are the same people that tell you if a rapist rape your kid or rape somebody, you gotta have that baby. Now, I don't believe in their religion. I'm telling you, no. I'm not okay with that. Making no woman that got raped by somebody to have a child. You know what? I'll be honest about it. I don't know that for sure that God gonna be okay with that. Of me saying, no, she should have abortion. I don't know that for sure. You know why? Because I never met God. I never talked to God. I ain't dead. So I don't know. But they use their religion as factual. But they ain't meet the same person that we say that we're talking about. This God, none of us met him. Even if it's my God. Even if it's their God. They never met their God. They never talked to him. They're a liar. So how we know? How we fucking know? And I could be wrong. Until I meet my maker. And you know what? I stand on it. And tell God, you know what? Let him, man. If he say Kenny Day was right when I get there, and I go see the big man upstairs, he say Kenny Day was right, though. That's what I stood for. Okay. Gotta live with that. And I'm good with that. And I stand on it. But while I'm here on earth, I'm staying. I don't think it was right. But the man big upstairs, he say, hey, when I get there, he say, you was wrong. Okay, cool. All right, God. Good with that. Because I ain't never heard you. You ain't never tell me that. I ain't never speak to you. You ain't never called me. So how the fuck I know? Well, you should just have faith and this shit was right. Okay, well, I didn't. I'm sorry. So you gonna penalize me for that? Cool. I thought I was doing the right thing. Then what? I had to take the consequences. I go to hell then. See, that's what people don't understand. You can't believe in something and not understand if you ain't never talked to this person that you're saying that you believe in. You can't say it's factual. And you could be wrong. But who knows if they wrong or not with this situation? Just like I tell you, you kill mine, they got kill yours. God might get upset at me. You know, you should let that go. Okay, well, I didn't at that time. I didn't feel that way. I live with that. I stand on that. And it's okay with that. But everybody in society got to understand we ain't going to all believe in the same thing and let's respect each other's shit. That's respect of everybody, others' beliefs. We ain't God. We don't know. I don't know if I'm wrong or right. They don't know if they're wrong or right. They're just lying and pretending that it is right. We don't know. Nobody's talked to this man. Nobody has talked to God. Nobody. Nobody has, listen, nobody has sat here and said they had a conversation with God. If they ever said that, then nigga, they crazy. In this society, yes. I've been here 42 years, get ready to be 43 years, God willing, in a couple of months. I ain't never talked to God. I never got a phone call. I never got a dream. I got nothing. I don't even know what God looked like. Honestly. Honestly. On real talk, I don't even know if God really real. But spiritually, I believe there's a higher power. I believe it's a God. I'm not 100% sure about that. At least I can be honest about that. These motherfuckers can't be honest. And these supposed to be the most religious people in the world, but they lie. They ain't never seen God. They don't know who the fuck God is. They ain't never talked to him. Whoever they God is, they lying. And if they say they did, they bitches belong in a crazy home. And I'm very sane. I've been very religious too. So I'm telling you, I've been where they were. So I know they're lying. I believe like they believed. I'm telling you they lying. I don't know if God real or not. I don't know. I believe it's a higher power though. Because some shit you just like in life, you just be like, oh. Can't account for it. Like you just can't. She just out of your reach. But they're just lying. They can't tell you what God look like. Nobody can. It ain't nobody on earth can tell you what God look like. If you still living, you can't tell me what God look like. You can't. You lying. Listen, I love Mr. Farrakhan. That nigga lying too. Niggas lying. They can't tell you what God look like. Nobody can tell you what God look like. Nobody has never seen this man. Ever. They don't even know if God is really real. Honestly. I can tell you that because I don't know if God is really real. I'm more of a spiritual dude. I go off of society. I go off of how shit really is. They can't tell you that this man is real. They can't tell you that this God, this so-called God is real. I partly believe. I wouldn't say y'all fully 100% believe that is a God. No, couldn't tell you that. But they sit there and tell you that, bro. They sit there and tell you that, right? They lying. You don't fuck with pastor, whoever it is. They're lying. They don't know who God is. They don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. We don't know what that man looked like. We don't know if he's real or not. We just don't know. And I know some people are like, you sound like an atheist. No, I'm not. I'm a very spiritual dude. I actually believe that it's a God. I just don't know what he looked like. I just understand my circumstance of who I am right now. Of I have to treat people how I want to be treated. That's all I know. That's all I know. Everything else, even my beliefs or whatever, it really don't matter in a way. It just really don't. As long as I continue to try to treat people how I want to be treated and treat people with respect and shit like that and treat people like human beings, that's all I can go by. Regardless of what my belief is. Regardless if I believe in a higher power, I believe is a God. It doesn't matter. I never seen this man. I don't know if that shit is true or not. I don't know. And for the people to sit out here and lie and pretend and act like they believe in something that they actually talk to this man or act like they know this man or this God, they are lying. They are fucking lying. Sorry to tell y'all, man. They are fucking lying. Damn shame we live in this type of society, man, where people lie. Let's go to a quick commercial break, people. We'll be right back. My bad, people. I'm back. Make sure you guys leave your comments, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button so you guys get the live streams when we go live, people. Make sure you hit the bell button too as well. Yeah, man. Nobody know who the fuck God looks like, man. But anyway, let's move on.
Racists.
Rob, can you pull up that chart of 1964, what Lyndon Johnson did? If you can zoom in on this a little bit. So this is, it's not showing the top. This is showing the growth of unwed childbearing in the U.S. from 1929 to 2013. And this is from the U.S. Government Census Bureau. If you look at what it was back in the early, from 1930 to 1960, we're at around 4%, okay, is where we were at. Lyndon Johnson comes in, war on poverty begins, we go all the way up to 41% today in America at a time where the world average is around 7%, and China and India are at 4 and 3%, and we're sitting at 41%. It's a travesty what some of these bad policies did to this incredible community. So, Chris, why do you think, Stephen A. Smith?
Because we don't live in China. We don't live in China. And let me just say this too. You know what's absurd? That we always try to compare ourselves to other countries. But these are the same people that tell us we live in the greatest country in the world. Why are we sitting here trying to compare ourselves to countries that we think that we're less, that they're lesser than us? They're not on the same level as us. We're better than them. So why are we taking their statistics to ours? It's not the same. Listen, even China, at a certain point, they got 1 billion people over there. Right? At this point. China cut their shit off. China do abortions, they kill kids. Women actually go to jail or maybe get killed because of the simple fact that they if they had too many children. Like, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about? And let me just say this as well. We have all these, let's just say we didn't have abortions, so we just make people have kids. We have all these kids. Right? We'd be no different than China. They got kids in China working in sweat boxes where they got these children working. Children. Enslaving their children. Their own government is enslaving their children. Then mind you, the powerful that's in China, their children not working like that. They're not working in these type of environments. See, you don't think about that though. You just want to talk about how China got all these people and all these kids and all that. Man, get the fuck out of here, bro. Think about going to some of these rooms. Let's have these kids working in these adult atmospheres. They not qualified to work there, but let's just have them working. Mind you, but these are the same people that say, hey, you know what? I have a problem if I see a black person work anywhere in the airlines. And I may feel like they unqualified. What the fuck are you talking? If you want children to work, how you don't know that they unqualified? Because usually they are. They ain't got no motherfucking experience, and they're not qualified to work at some of these jobs. But you want these children to work at these jobs. Tell me how that works. You can't have it both ways. How's they qualified? They don't make sense. It never makes sense with these stupid, ignorant motherfuckers. We ain't China. And I'm glad we ain't China. And I'm glad we ain't other countries. If we supposed to be the greatest country in the world, I'm glad we ain't them. Why the fuck we trying to be like them? We the greatest country in the world. Why we trying to be like them? Why? We great, right? Oh, I'm sorry. No, we ain't great. The country is in hell. According to them. Listen, let me explain something to everybody. Listen. Because I say America ain't the greatest country in the world, and I criticize my country, the reason I do that is because I have, number one, I have the right to do that. But number two, I am an American citizen. I don't have to sit back and pretend that something is not what it perceived to be when I know it's not that. See, that's where the truth comes in. Everybody want to sit in this lie. America is not the greatest country in the world, but at the same time, are we better than other countries? Yes. I will always admit that. Yes. I can't go live over in Africa. I know nothing. I'm not African. I have never lived in Africa. I never lived in grew up in that culture. I never grew up in a Muslim culture. I never grew up in there. In none of them third world countries or none of these dictator countries. I never grew up in it. So I can't tell you, I can't pretend, and the shit that I do, I know. No, I wouldn't want to live there. Yeah, I would rather live here. But that don't stop me from criticizing my country for mistreating people that look like me. I want my country to be better. We say we want our country to be better. We say you motherfuckers keep running around talking about we the greatest country in the world, but then why my people are not getting treated equally? I have the right to do that. I have the right to speak on it. You motherfuckers keep sitting around and acting like, oh, you shouldn't speak badly about your country. If my people in this country, and I'm American, I can't tell them what they're doing wrong, then what the fuck are we talking about then? I supposed to just sit back and act like everything good? But then, you see Trump supporters, the MAGAs, how bad the country is. They can speak on how bad the country is, but I can't. I can't. A liberal can't. We can't talk about how bad shit is. But your side can. Republicans and MAGA people. Y'all can do it, but we can't do it over here. And I ain't even on the left. I'm not a Democrat, but I can't talk bad about I can't speak on how bad the country is doing some shit. But you can? Tell me how that's fair. But you prove my point of letting me know that our country doesn't treat everybody fairly. You proved that point to me. It's okay for you to criticize the country, but I can't. I'm whining, bitching, complaining, playing victim. I'm too woke. But you can do it. Wow. And then you talk about, oh, we believe in democracy. No, you don't. You only believe in democracy when it fits you. I ain't never said that racist white people can't exist. I'm just saying that they should not be a part of society and acting like it's okay if we want to make our country better. That's all I'm saying. We should not give them platforms. We should not allow them to be amongst us. Because if I hated the right wing, if I said I hated everybody that was Republican, I should not be a part of society. I can admit that. But I don't. I don't hate right wingers because you disagree with me. I don't hate Trump supporters. I don't do that. I'm not like that. I just say don't fucking talk to me and stay out my business. That's all I ask. You feel however you want to feel, but don't treat me no different. Let's treat everybody the same. We ain't got to agree with everything and on some political shit. But when we come doing our job, we do our job and keep your beliefs and all that bullshit out of my shit. Do your job, I do my job. Let's do this shit together. We can work together. That's all I give for. And we ain't got to like each other. You can hate me or whatever. I don't care. Just do your fucking job. That's all I care about. But you can't understand that because you see the color of my skin. You think this person is a liberal, so you hate them. That's you. That ain't us. That's you. That's how you feel. And then you try to project that shit on the rest of us when that's you. Listen, I love me some me, but I care about others. And maybe you don't. But that's cool with me too. But when we go do a job 9 to 5, we out here in a regular world. Nah, nigga, I don't give a fuck. Even my position on shit. I don't care about it. Just respect people. I don't care about your beliefs. You shouldn't care about mine. So what? It doesn't matter. Let's just respect everybody and move the fuck on and just move in life. That's how we supposed to. That's how it should be. But you know, you don't care about that. You want everybody. Never mind. Let's move on.
Stephen A. Smith, you and I and Stephen A. are friends, and you know, we'll be in some group text, and you know, you guys, you know, we'll have our conversations together. But Stephen A. gets up there and he challenges what's going on, and I, you know, remind him of one time when he said, you know, I think what the Democrats need to do is they need to not vote Democrat and vote Republican for one time and see what happens, right? It's easy to say that, but then it's actually go through it, right? And God knows today's a very hard time for a guy like that.
It's also not easy to say it, not even for a black man.
Very, very hard to say it, and he got a lot of heat for it, and he still continues to get heat. When he had his first guest, I think he had on his podcast was Hannity. You were the second one that he had on the podcast, right? And he's in sports culture, so he has influence in a very different way, right? Why do you think, you know, the data we're looking at, why do you think this lady who's telling the story that she said, why do you think if she is giving her perspective and then Candace is talking about the history, why do you think this keeps happening over and over again, specifically with the black vote?
Because it works. It works for the system. It works for the people in power. It works for them to continue to keep voting blocks dependent on them. You know, look, one of the good things is, you know, 10 years ago, maybe, I don't know, 8, we would have never seen that video. The access of people to be able to tell their stories now and put out information and perspective. I mean, is there risk with it? Yeah, you know, you can get sold things, people can lie and all that, but seem really impressive. But there's an upside also. Look, why did China come up with its social credit system? Because power loves to shape behavior. Power loves to shape behavior. Power loves to create conformity. And that's why it's establishment versus disruption right now in America, because we're dealing with it here as well. I know very few things for sure. I know that the system has failed us of the two-party system. I know it's the root of these problems. I know it is. I also know that we are doing ourselves a massive disservice by getting away from conversation. One of the reasons that this matters to me, and that I am happy to be here with Candace and with Patrick and with the home team fellas and with you guys, we are killing ourselves by denying ourselves conversation. Stephen A. Smith getting beat up as a black man for saying things that aren't popular on the left, first of all, is just nuts, right? I mean, it's the guy can't say what he wants to say about people like him without getting beat up.
No, first of all, and this is the problem. All black people don't think the same. That's the problem. Because he black, he's saying some shit and he getting beat up. That's not what that is. That's not what that is. Because if black people really truly, let's just be real, people like Stephen A. Smith and Candace Owens, if they truly, they would say, you know what, we don't fuck with both parties. We're not fucking with that shit. We're not fucking with it. What Candace Owens does do, right? And the Stephen A. Smiths of the world. I don't even know where Stephen A. Smith ranks as like a Republican or a Democrat. He might just be an independent for all we know, right? Listen. You cannot say certain shit and can't back it up. Stephen A. Smith, when he goes at black issues or even the Democrat issues, it's harsher than when he goes at Republicans. He's much more soft and, laid back and talking like he got some fucking sense. That's the difference. That's what we notice. As a black person, for me, that's what I noticed that he does. He's much more willing to hear some shit. More calmer. But when it comes to black issues, his rage is crazy. My thing is, he goes at the black people with more rage than he would go at the motherfuckers that actually do racist shit. That's my issue with Stephen A. Because I don't believe that Stephen A. Smith is a Democrat or a Republican. Honestly. I don't think he's neither one. My problem is when he goes at the black folks, it's more rage there. He gets more upset. Right? He don't keep the same energy. But when he goes at the white folks, let's hear him out. But you don't want to hear the black folks out. The black folks, what? We somewhat different with our rage than the white folks or the right wing? Listen, let me just say this. I have never as a black man that know better, right? That been in this politics shit for about 10 years, right? I have never, and I mean never, have I ever, my energy always the same when it comes to my black people. Some shit trigger me and flip me off with my own people. Some shit trigger me off with white folks and other races of people. I keep that same energy. I keep the same energy. So my tone is different. My energy is different. My tone is the same. My energy is the same. That's not what Stephen A. Smith does. That's not what he does. It's always like, when he come at black people, his energy is different. And as a black person, and I ain't speaking for all black people, but I'm telling you, as some black people, we feel that energy, nigga. We get it from him. So you can say that as a white dude, Chris Cuomo or whatever. You can say that all you want. You ain't black. So you can't say that. You can't tell us how we feel. Some of us feel. That motherfucker's out of pocket. The criticism that Stephen A. Smith, man, fuck Stephen A. We done seen what you did, nigga. You was right calm with the Riley Cooper shit, but you got mad at Michael Vick for some dog shit. And we come from a community that where, nigga, we fight dogs. And it ain't just our community. It's other communities that do that shit. But he came at us. He get highly offensive of us. We smoke weed. He acting like we was the only community that smoked weed like that. No, nigga, it was other communities that smoke weed. Listen, you think about it now. Weed is like legal right now. And everybody is so open to speak about they smoking weed. You know who more open? White folks. About smoking that shit. Black people been smoking weed. We been open about it. You don't see the same. You don't see the same shit. You don't see the same energy with these motherfuckers. Stephen A. and them. You don't see the same energy with them. Them motherfuckers, man, they listen. When Stephen A. Smith say, I've been around a long time in this business, he ain't lying about it. He been in the business for a long time. He knows what's going to. He knows how to push a narrative. He knows what his white boss is going to want him to do. The energy he got to keep towards black and white people. He know that. Stephen A. Smith ain't a dumb motherfucker. He's very intelligent. Very intelligent. He know what he's doing. Give me that shit about Stephen A. Black people. It always say, oh, black people coming at him. That's basically who coming at him is black folks. The white people ain't coming at him like that. Like not how we come at him. So you speaking on us. And you trying to speak. Chris Cuomo, you trying to speak on black people? Like you know how black people get down? I can tell you about the white community or any community or his community. How they feel. Can tell you fully. I can tell you what some of them do. I can tell you, I can't stereotype all of them. Don't stereotype us. And that's my problem. Y'all always trying to stereotype all black people. Motherfucker, you don't know all of us like that. You don't know why. Even if we tell you why, you still don't know why. Because you still say fuck shit out your mouth. But anyway, let's move on.
And beat up by a bunch of white people who all of a sudden are going to say that they're covering the mantle. And now I say this, I sit here next to her, and now all of a sudden people are going to make a big list of assumptions about everything that I'm about. Shame on you. I think that we're killing ourselves with this. Part of the answer has to be what you've been trying to do so much, Pat. And it's why I wanted to get to know you. And it's why.
First of all, I never depict what Chris Cuomo and his people been through. I never try to act like I know exactly what all they've been through. But as a black person that have been the forefront of the discrimination, because ain't his race and nobody else's race been in more forefront than ours, other than maybe the Native Americans. See, the Native Americans is the motherfuckers that we have a conversation with. They the only people that we can have a conversation with. But everybody else, no. Fuck out of here. You can't have no conversation with us. Not black folks. Can't have a conversation with us. And try to sit there and pretend or like we tripping. We ain't tripping. Listen, Chris Cuomo, you can sit there with Candace Owens all you want. The only reason you even sitting there with that coon ass bitch, that house nigga ass bitch, is because you lost your job. That's the only reason. But you would never sit down with Candace Owens on your platform on that mainstream media with that ignorant bitch. Yes, she ignorant. She an ignorant bitch. Yes. Ain't no way you sit down with that ignorant bitch. The fuck out of here. The only reason you sitting down with this ignorant bitch is because of the simple fact you lost your job at CNN, the mainstream media shit. They ain't letting that ignorant bitch be on their platform on CNN. Fox News will do it, because that's their whole shit. They want sellouts. They want coons. To the extreme as she is. Because you had a coon on your platform too as well. Chris Cuomo. And his name was Van Jones. That sellout piece of shit. Nigga, when you get somebody like Sonny on The View and say, oh, black people don't trust you no more. They feel like they can't trust you. She did that on a national platform. Nigga, that lets you know everything. And Sonny be on her bullshit too. But she ain't Van Jones. That sellout piece of shit. Please stop, bro. Chris Cuomo, you only sitting there with those type of people because you ain't got no choice to sit there with them. Because if you were still on your mainstream shit, you wouldn't sit there with them motherfuckers. Real talk. It was almost like the Joe Budden shit when he was saying it. Nigga, you only can sit there with her and acknowledge her and gave her a platform on your platform is because you ain't got no choice to do it. You clickbaiting, nigga. You clout chasing with this bitch. I told y'all, the only way I sit down with Candace Owens, if that bitch is open enough that she say I'm okay with disrespect, cause I'm going to disrespect the shit out of her. And if she ain't open to doing that, there ain't no reason to talk. I ain't even having a debate with Candace Owens. Bitch, go ahead, say what you gotta say. Bitch, you lying. I'm calling her name. If she okay with that, then we good. If she okay with me calling her a bitch and calling her out her name and disrespecting her, and she can do the same with me, I'm okay with that. If she only okay with that, that's the only way we talk. Other than that, get the fuck out of here. Ain't no way I sit down with Candace Owens. Bitch, I ain't being polite to you. I'm not going to allow you to get on my platform or me get on your platform and then you act like we having a good conversation. We really doing some shit. No, we're not. Bitch, we ain't nowhere on the same page. You are a sellout. Candace Owens won't sit down with nobody like me. She know better. It ain't that I hate Candace Owens. I don't hate nobody. But I wouldn't allow this bitch to sit there and pretend they're acting like we good. We having a cordial conversation so she can spill her nonsense. Get the fuck out of here. They sitting on a platform right now. Chris Cuomo, all of them. He don't criticize nothing she says. That bitch is lying. She ain't even fully telling the truth. She's lying. And then you sat there and you like, oh, acting like everything good. Chris Cuomo, get your goofy ass out of here. Man, listen. You got fired, and I respect it. You want to stick up for your brother. I get that. I respect that. But at the same time, fuck Chris Cuomo. Fuck him. Fuck out of here. Your goofy ass is only on them platforms because your ass got barred from mainstream media. They banned your bitch ass. They got you up out of there. You couldn't even get another job. The fuck out of here. Let's move on, man.
And it's why the more I get to know you, the more I love you. Is you gotta let people say how they feel. And when it's not making sense to you, You check it. There's nothing wrong with that. We do that in our real lives all the time. But when it comes to politics...
You ain't check shit. You just explaining nonsense, Chris Cuomo. Candace Owens said some old fuck shit and you ain't check her. But anyway, I could be wrong. Let's move on.
All of a sudden, you don't just disagree with me. It's not that you're in favor of voter ID. I'm not in favor of voter ID. And therefore, I am evil and hate Jesus and should go directly to the fifth circle of hell. Who does this benefit?
Who's doing that, though? Chris Cuomo, you saying all that, but who's actually doing that? What side is actually doing that? It's not your side. Who starts it? It's her side, and you sitting next to a person that actually does that. What are you talking about, man? You sitting next to a person that does that. Everything you just said, you sitting next to a person like Candace Owens that actually does it. What are you talking about, bro? But we got to hear them out. Hear them out for what? Let's move on, man. Let's move on. My bad, people.
Benefit. See, you want to talk conspiracy, etc., whatever. Here's mine, okay? One, I believe that there's a conspiracy afoot that keeps tuna from biting my bait because other people catch. I don't catch. I think it's dirty. Second, who is benefiting from this? Who is benefiting from, if Candace and I don't disagree, she's got to be bad. This is a bad person right here. Tucker's favorite word. He doesn't mean it this way, I think. By the way, I'll get beat up for saying that. But he uses the word evil a lot. Whenever he says that he doesn't agree with a position, he'll be like, oh, I don't know why Biden is saying this. He is evil for saying this. That's just his default mechanism. But Tucker yet sat down with me. I don't know if you heard. We sat down. Tucker and I have the same lawyer. So when Tucker lost his job, my lawyer said...
That lets you know right there. You got the same lawyer. That's why this goofy motherfucker is sitting there talking this bullshit. Because he's in the same predicament. Let me just explain something to y'all. Chris Cuomo is in the same position as Candace Owens now. Because he lost his mainstream job. Nobody wants to hire him. Nobody. Nobody gives a fuck about Chris Cuomo no more. You know why? Because of what he did. And some stand-up shit that he did. But at the same time, the mainstream media ain't feeling that shit. And they got his ass out there. They basically blackballed him. It's almost like Megyn Kelly. You ain't hear shit from Megyn Kelly. Then all of a sudden she started doing a YouTube shit, podcast. She started coming into podcast shit. But mind you, these was the same people that was mainstream that was mad at podcasters. They was mad at them until they lost their job. And they ain't have nothing. And so now all of a sudden now they podcasters. Him and Megyn Kelly, they both did the same exact shit. Now all of a sudden now they back in they in podcasting. And they using they little shit that they got and they getting certain people. All of a sudden now everybody care about the YouTube shit, the social media shit. Now they all part of social media. But these was the same people. These was the same people. You remember this. I want y'all to remember this. These was the same people. If you think I'm lying, go and research it. These are the same people that was on mainstream media disrespecting social media. Now they on social media. Now they need social media because they can't get a fucking job in mainstream media. Think about it. These are the same people Now they care about social media. Now they are part of the social media. Now they on podcasts and shit like that. But they was the same people that was disrespecting podcasting. They was the same people disrespecting social media when they was on top of their game. Now all of a sudden these bitches, they come over now. Now they are part of it. They see the wave. They see the wave now. Now you hear them now. Sometimes they talk bad about mainstream media. You mad at mainstream media? How you mad at mainstream? You was a part of it. But it took you to lose your job on mainstream media, and then now you got a problem with it? The fuck out of here. I told y'all, watch their actions. Watch what they listen. Go back and listen to what they said. You ain't got to believe me. Go look back what they said. These motherfuckers is sitting out here all of a sudden now and now they're part of, they care about social media now. Social media is the new wave. I can sit down with the Candazones of the world. People think it's wrong to do that. When you was at mainstream media, Chris Cuomo, you wouldn't get that bitch to come on your platform. You knew better to do that. That bitch wasn't worthy to do it. And now you trying to sit here now, you ain't a part of the mainstream no more because they kicked your ass out. So now you're a part of our community. Now you sit down with a bitch like that. You sit down with this ignorant bitch. And then now all of a sudden now you want to hear what she got to say. Please. Fuck out of here. I ain't never been in mainstream media. So I don't have to pretend that I like a motherfucker like Candace Owens. He have to do that. He have to pretend that. The fuck out of here. He can't get a job in mainstream media no more. Chris Cuomo. And a lot of them motherfuckers. They can't get it no more. So they sitting there and now they sucking up to right-wing nut jobs like motherfucking Candace Owens in them. They willing, so we just gotta hear them out. Hear them out for what? These are the same people talking about January 6th wasn't real. What we gotta talk to them about? What are you talking about, Chris Cuomo? What are you talking about? It's sadness, bro. It's sad to see how they fall and then they come down. Oh, they want to fuck with us now. They want to get in the atmosphere and get in the realm of us. Fuck out of here, Chris Cuomo. You a fucking coward, bro. Fuck out of here. Fuck Chris Cuomo. Fuck them all, because they lie. Say quick commercial break, people. We right back. I thought I did. My bad, people. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button so you guys get the live streams when we go live, people. And if you can, donate to the channel. Go to OBF, the real Cash App, and donate to the channel. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Listen. That shit crazy. Chris Coburn is irrelevant, and he tried to sit there and pretend that we gotta have a conversation with people like Candace Owens. That's shit bullshit. Hey, nigga, you lost your job because, man, you stand on business, and I get this about your family, but don't be trying to pretend that like, yo, we supposed to agree with your bullshit now that you can't get a job. You can't get a job in the mainstream media. And you made millions of dollars in the school, but now you out here. That's just weird, bro. Let's move on.
My lawyer said to me, who's a beautiful guy, I won't say his name because then people will hate him for no reason, that he's like, hey, would you call Tucker Carlson and talk to him about how he's processing all this stuff that's going on with him because you went through it? And I was like, no, man, I really don't want to call Tucker Carlson. He chewed on my behind like it was a dog toy for years. And I wound up calling him because why not? You don't want to try to, if you can't help somebody, you don't do it. And I became ashamed of myself that was my reflex because of what I think about the guy's.
That's bullshit. You did it because you and Tucker Carlson had the same lawyer. That's why you did it. That's number one. Number two, you did it because of some fact you both was in the same position. Maybe a little different, but it was the same position. Same position of why y'all both lost your job. Because y'all was fake actors. And we're not saying that, well, I'm not saying that the reason what happened to you was because of some fact it wasn't because of mainstream media. It wasn't because of that. And they used y'all. I'm not saying that. It's probably y'all got used. The problem is with that is that your ideology with him on them both of y'all stages was against each other. Right? So what changed was because you seen that on both sides that they got you up out of there. Both sides. So that's somehow supposed to make you feel connected to the two. And it was different than why y'all left too. Or why y'all lost your jobs. You lost your job because you was trying to stick up for your brother. Right? That's why you lost your job. Tucker Carlson lost his job because he kept lying. That's the reason Tucker Carlson lost his job. And he was bad for business with Fox News because he kept lying. You didn't lose your job because you was lying. You actually lost your job because you did some honorable shit for your brother. And in a way, you probably did lie to him lie to people to a little bit, but you stood up for your brother. It's different. It's not the same. So now you want us to understand. You want us to you want us to look at this shit and comprehend this shit of like, you and Tucker Carlson got something in common. For what? For what? Because before both of y'all lost y'all jobs, y'all already knew what mainstream media was doing to both of y'all. And then now you understand it more? Because now y'all both lost y'all jobs, so now y'all can understand it more. That's what you telling me, motherfucker? You've been doing the fuck shit you've been doing, bro. You've been working for the corporations. You've been doing that Chris Cuomo. And so did Tucker Carlson. What the fuck are you talking about? And regardless of the ideology, you both was working for a corporation that was trying to mislead the people. So that's why now, like, and I tell you, that's why now, oh, I can sit down with the Tucker Carlsons of the world. I ain't want to do it at first. Yeah, you did, bitch. Yes, you did. Because if you didn't want to do it, you still wouldn't have did it. It ain't no way I sit down with somebody like Tucker Carlson. Regardless, if I lose my job or not. What the fuck? We don't see eye to eye on nothing. It ain't nothing that we see eye to eye on. Even if we had something in common, so what? But my moral principles, no. The only reason you want no different than Tucker Carlson, because now you telling me, let's sit down with Tucker Carlson. I can sit down with him now. So your morals wasn't no different. You got no morals, bitch. Chris Cuomo, you got no morals, you motherfucker. You got no morals. And you sit there and you pretend and you sitting on this stupid fucking platform of sitting there allowing you to say this nonsense shit. Ain't nobody checking your goofy ass. Oh, no, we should all sit down and talk. Yeah, listen, we should all sit down and talk, but we know better. What is the atmosphere now? But let's change some shit. How you change it? Have you changed it? You had a bigger platform than what you had now. Did you try to change it? And how much you tried to change it? Could you change it? No, you couldn't. You couldn't change it. Alright, so why the fuck would I listen to you now? Because you never stood on business then. You never stood on trying to change some shit then. You had all the power in the world. You was on the biggest platform. And you did nothing. Fuck out of here. You ain't no different than Tucker Carlson, motherfucker. That's why you so openly and confident of even comfortable even saying, oh man, Tucker Carlson, we talk. Fuck out of here, nigga. Fuck out of here, Chris Cuomo, with that bullshit. You mad just like Tucker Carlson that y'all lost your jobs. That's the only thing y'all got in common. That's the only thing. And you standing on it. You riding with it. Fuck out of here. Anyway, let's move on.
About the guy's politics, and a little bit because he was kicking my butt gratuitously on a regular basis. But that shouldn't be demonized. Why is my phone literally hot right now from all the comments as word spreads that I'm having a conversation with Tucker Carlson? Why are all these people killing me for sitting down with the guy? Why? Who is that benefiting? Why is it that if Candace comes on my show, there'll be hell to pay? Then the crazier question is, why do I keep doing it? Why I don't get paid to be controversial?
That's why I told y'all. He knows why. Ask yourself that. Why are you asking everybody else this question? Ask yourself that. Why is everybody getting his ass all this shit he's saying? It's a reason why. Because number one, we expect more. But then number two is that are you really qualified to speak on it? You was the same dude. I seen you, Chris Cuomo, when you had your show. You disrespected the progressive narrative. You continue to allow the the Democrat Party to tear down the progressive narrative. You did a little bit here and there. I give you your props for that, but you didn't let them come on more. You didn't let them come on more and speak on the progressive shit, the Bernie Sanders shit. You did not do that. You kept letting them corporations come on and lie and tear down progressives, even though that you knew that they was right. You did that. So the motherfucker, don't sit here and act like we tripping on you. No, motherfucker, you did what you did. And that's why your ass is out. Not because of the progressive shit. You was out because you didn't even lose your corporation shit, because everybody still watch it. Some people still watch the shit on corporation shit. But you lost your job because you stood up for your brother. And I told you, I ain't got no problem with it. But at the same time, you couldn't even be real about your own fucking brother. How corrupt he was. You couldn't even be real about that. And then that's why you lost your job. Because they told you, don't defend him. Don't defend him. But you couldn't help yourself. Because like I said, and I give you some respect for that, it's your family. I get it. But your brother he was wrong. You both got synced. You both lost y'all fucking positions. And like I said, I respect it because you felt like it was worth it on both of y'all sides. Your brother put you in a fucked up position. If I'm your brother, I'm your friend, I'm not putting you in that position. Nigga, talk about me. If I'm doing fucked up shit like that, put me in that position. Get in my ass. Ask them questions that the people want to know. Like, you didn't want to do that though. You came out and defended them. And that's what you did. And so niggas, you stand on it. Let's move on.
Be controversial. I don't have a following. Okay, I don't have it's easy, much easier to pick a side. You want to be a star in the media? Pick a side. Pick a side. And if I were you, I would pick the right, because you guys are much more loyal to your side than the left is.
Yes. I ain't got no following. First of all, he lying. That's number one. But does he's telling the truth? Does he have a bigger following that he had before? No. But he has a following. That is a lie. It's like that with me. Like, I have a following. I have motherfuckers that fuck with me like that. But is my following the same as what I used to have? No. These are facts. Like, I can prove it. Listen, when I was doing this shit with OBF The Real, for YouTube did what they did and for shit went left the way it did, I had a big following. Over 2,000 people. Right? You go look at my shit now. I have over 200 people. I had a movement. Like a real, I have a movement, but I had a bigger movement. Don't have that now. Regardless of what ever happened, it happened. Right? I wouldn't, like, Chris gonna sitting there lying, talking, I ain't got no movement. Yeah, you do. You got a movement. It ain't as big as when you was on a certain platform or when you was there and shit like that. It's like me. I know I had a way bigger movement before shit went left. Way bigger movement. Motherfuckers fucking with me and riding with me. Over 2,000 people. You gotta understand that. So when Chris Cuomo come out, oh, I ain't got the movement I got. Of course you don't. Cause you ain't with that mainstream media shit, so of course you ain't got no motherfucking movement like you used to have. Of course not. You had to lower your standards to come down here and fuck with the rest of us. I think your movement is still a little bigger than the rest of us. And when Chris Cuomo came out with his own show, he got a show and shit, whatever. Chris Cuomo got over 500,000 or some shit like that. Part of his YouTube social media shit. He big as a motherfucker. He's still big than the average motherfucker that's on YouTube. It's bullshit. And you know that. Excuse me. There's no way. Listen. Me, myself, I had 2,000. When I had an opinion but fast, my shit was 2,000. I had a lot of motherfucking viewers. A lot of people fuck with me. Not no more. About 200, and I appreciate all of y'all. Fuck with y'all. Appreciate y'all. That's a lot of people. 200 some people. That's still a lot to me. That still fuck with me. The difference is that with Chris Cuomo and me and other motherfuckers like him, I actually appreciate the motherfuckers that actually fuck with me. He don't. He think I had so many people that fuck with me. I was on mainstream media and I had this and I had that. Nigga, I had what I had. It's what it is. I had what I had. I had my 2,000. So what? It's all good. I never changed who I was. That's the thing. I fucked up and lost some viewers, whatever, but I still stood on me. I still stood on a movement or what I'm always about. My movement have never changed. I always tell y'all, like, I never change on my movement. My movement is always the same, regardless if niggas fucking with OBF or they not. I always stick to my shit. Because that's what made us. Regardless, we change, we do some shit or whatever, nigga, my movement is always OBF. Always OBF the movement. It's always about helping people. We do this shit to help people. I don't give a fuck about what people narratives is and shit like that. I don't really give a fuck about that shit. Right? Unless that shit is about positive shit to help others, I don't really give a fuck. I don't really care. Like I told y'all, I'm the leader. That's why you see me all here all the time. You be like, oh, where the OBF members is, where everybody else is. No disrespect to them, but where everybody else? Why they at? Why they don't come on? Why they don't do no shows? Because they can't do what I can do. No disrespect to them. They just can't do it. It's all controversy. A lot of times. Like, people be sitting there, they be talking shit. People talk shit. They say what they want to say. But what you gonna do? You care about the people. Care about what I'm talking about. Care about what's going on. Then, nigga, all of the other shit that we go through behind the scenes or all of the other shit, that shit is irrelevant. Let's do this shit about the people. Who you always see in front of the camera and do it? And no disrespect to everybody else. It's no disrespect to the OBF members. But think about it. Who here? I am. I'm the leader. I'm the motherfucker that pushed this narrative. I'm the motherfucker that did this shit. They can't do it. If they did do it, let them do it. And I'll be okay with it. I embrace it. I wish they can do what I can do. See, that's the thing. I wish they can say the shit I can say and push the movement the way I want. I push the movement. I wish they can do it. I'd be behind them. I swear to y'all I would. They can't do it. No disrespect to other OBF members. They never could do it. They can't be consistent like that. And if you've seen them, who pushed them to do it? I did. I pushed them to do it. It's not no arrogant shit. It's not nothing to make them seem bad or nothing like that, but they can't do it. That's why you don't see nobody here now. I reach out to them niggas every time I'm ready to do something. Damn near. I ain't gonna say every time, but damn near every time I reach out to them. Yo, come on, let's do some shit. Do a show. Let's do something. So people can hear your voices. Yeah. Nobody want to do it. Everybody tell me, OBF members, you know what they tell me? My own shit going on, man. Yeah, like the only niggas that got good shit going on. See, what people didn't realize too was that. And I'm gonna leave this as this. You know what niggas didn't tell you about me or what I do? It's not being an arrogant shit. It's not being disrespectful. Not to shit on other niggas in OBF. I'm gonna tell you what these niggas can't do. Niggas telling me, oh, nigga, I got problems going on. I got shit going on in my life. Nah, you know. Or they don't hit me, right? Understand something. I got shit going on in my life. I got shit going on all the time in my life. Every time. But I dedicate this shit to y'all. And it's not to disrespect them, the other OBF members, but it's just like those niggas, they say they gonna be here. They tell me, oh Kenny, I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna fuck with you. You know, when I do talk to them behind the scenes, you know what they tell me? I had some shit going on. Okay, cool. Shit going on too. But I still be here part of OBF. I still do shows. I still come here and I still talk to y'all and I still give y'all that fucking real. My motherfucker tell me, yo, we a part of this shit. We a part of it. We a part of OBF. How? How you a part of this shit? You can't even get on here. I ain't stopping nobody. I'm not saying anybody. That's them niggas. Come on. They can't do it. You know what all niggas want to do behind the scenes? Be real. Because I'm a real nigga. You know what niggas want to do behind the scenes? Just argue. And tell me about all their problems. Like ain't nobody else got problems. Our whole purpose is that we should be relating to niggas that got problems. That's what motivate me. I know I got problems too. I got shit going on in my life as well. But you know what? I'm there for others. I speak my shit and I speak my shit. I do my shit all the time. OBF members, and I'm putting them out on blast. All of them. Give a fuck who it is. I love them. Got love for them, but them niggas don't come on here. Y'all been seeing me for months. by myself. Nobody come. Nobody want to do nothing. They tell you they OBF though. They tell you family. We OBF the network. We all this. Ain't nobody here. Who here? Who take time out? I do. My days off I can spend with my fucking daughter, but I'm here. They don't do it. They're telling me, hey man, I got more important shit to do. Okay, cool. For me, I tell them, it's cool. These same people be behind the scenes, OBF members. That's here, not now here either. Same people. Tell you. Oh, nigga. I'm about OBF. Y'all see him? Y'all see him? See all of them? I promote them. I put them out here. You see the intros? I represent them. I put them out there. You see him? You see him come? You see him come? Yo, you see him do a show? You see him come? Oh, even just come on my show. A show that I do. Nah, they don't do that. They don't do it. They ain't real with this shit. I got love for him. Don't get that shit twisted with me. I love for him, but niggas ain't really real. Niggas ain't doing what they say they really about. And like I said, I always want all my niggas, all them OBF members, and I'm speaking on them now, and I'm putting them out on blast. Stop telling me that you about the fucking family. You're about what we do. You care about the channel. You care about other people, and you niggas don't show up. I got problems just like you do, but I still show up. None of y'all keep showing up. Nothing. Nothing. Nobody shows up. Understand that. None of them niggas show up. Just asking y'all, my people. Y'all subscribe, y'all see us and shit. You keep talking about, we talk about OBF. Is they really OBF? Is they really OBF the network? Is they really? When you see them? When we talking? None. The only time niggas want to talk when we behind the scenes. That's the real talk. You don't see him. Have y'all heard them talk? Have they gave an opinion on shows and shit? No. You see me. So I may have to change the motherfucking... the title of shit. Because these niggas ain't a part of OBF. You gotta start showing them too, right? Gotta start showing people. See, people get upset at me because when I tell the truth, people get mad and be like, oh, Ken, you shouldn't put that out there with everybody else should talk to. I have. Talk to everybody. Told them everything I'm telling y'all, I tell everybody. Told these niggas. But, you know, I'm tripping. Ken, you going too far. Talking about niggas. Okay, cool. But we continue to just let this shit keep going on though. Nobody takes self-responsibility, nothing. Everybody will be acting like, oh, well, Kenny supposed to do this. No, Kenny, I did my part. I always do my part. First of all, I always do my part anyway, because in fact, y'all see me. I do the shows. Where's everybody? Ask yourselves. OBF? Subscribers, everybody. Motherfuckers say they OBF, right? Where they at? Anybody doing something? Anybody doing something? I just want y'all. I just want her to understand it. Is anybody doing? Is any of these motherfuckers that you, Kenny, you called them out? You being disrespectful and you calling them out? It's wrong. Tell me when the last time you seen them. Who the last person you seen? You seen me. I'm here. I'm doing the shit. But they tell you, and I tell you as well, OBF. OBF the network. Where's the rest of OBF network? Have y'all seen them in months? Have y'all seen them? Nah, you haven't. Who you seen? Me. Man, these niggas gonna get mad at me behind the scenes or get upset at me or whatever. You don't see them niggas. Motherfuckers tell you, oh, I had a lot of shit going on, nigga. Okay, cool. Cool, man. So I don't got nothing going on either. I ain't got no life. I ain't got no kid. I ain't got no wife. I ain't got no emotional shit that I'm going through too. But I still get out here and speak to the people. I told y'all, everybody ain't on my level. And I ain't mad at them. I'm just trying to show y'all that the difference between certain people than me. I'm about what I say I'm about. Niggas ain't about what they about. Because like I said, you can say whatever you about, but do you prove it? What you doing? Motherfuckers tell you, oh, yeah, oh, I'm about something, but, you know. But are you actually doing it? No, they're not doing it. Heard niggas want to talk to me. Talk to me about what? You already know where I stand. Ain't nothing to talk about, nigga. I don't play with people like that. You play with yo. You said some shit out your mouth to me. Nothing to talk about. I'm gonna say this, cause I'm gonna get behind the scenes. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm gonna try to hit everybody up again. Once again. Try to get everybody in. See who call, who come in, whatever, behind the scenes. And niggas, they don't come in. That's gonna prove my point again. This shit is a wrap. No. Don't get it twisted, people. It's still gonna be OBF the network, but it may not be with everybody else. And niggas I promote and all that other shit. It's not that. Real talk. Alright, man. Peace and love to the world.